Dolphin doorway. What the hell? Or porpoise window. Oh, we're talking about like actual entry points into different animals. I see. I got you. Okay. Yeah, that took me a minute to figure out. I'm kind of slow apparently. If you dyed your beard green, I'd be happy. My daughter is trying to get me to do something like that. She's trying to get me. Okay, so my daughter, her team won district, and so we move on to state pretty soon here. So she's all like, "Hey, you're gonna put glitter in your beard, right?" I'm like, "No, not happening." I've done that before. Actually, I did green and temporary dye in my beard for the year I did the Joker costume. She was Harley Quinn. She did a little cute little clown costume, and I did like the dapper Joker kind of thing in through the outdoor. Oh my god, man. Millennial boomer shit there. I'll pay for the glitter beard. It's not happening right now. Save your money. Save your money. Hey, what's up, Wagon Burner? Yo, Patriot, how you doing, buddy? Tekla, DB Wild, of course, Plix. Who else? Oh, John, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, guys, it is really funny. It is crazy. I've known this for a while, and honestly, this is one of those things that gives quote-unquote YouTubers, like, anxiety and shit. The whole algorithm, basically giving and taketh, it giveth and it taketh away, right? Taketh away. I'm having some lip problems. He can't afford glitter. He was in a car accident. How rude. I was in a car full of glitter. It's all gone now. No. Because, you go a week or so without posting a video. You don't do much on your channel. And things just kind of slow to a grinding halt. So I upload a video and it's like, yeah, it's not doing good. And it's like, it is what it is, Nothing much you can do about it. Drives like an old Asian lady. Okay, so you're partially correct about that. I don't tend to speed excessively. I do drive above the speed limit, and I don't change lane without using my blinkers and all that. Scalp massages are super effective to cure baldness. What? Like just rubbing, like where the hair's thinning or something? Like what? How does that work? Oh, it has to be a lot of glitter. Okay, I'm programming away over here. I promised some folks I'd send the demo out today, but I stopped. Wait. Are you still working on that game you were talking about before? I can't remember. Cruelest word in the English language, lisp. If you've got one, you can't say it proper. Right up there with stutter. If you got one, it's hard to spit out. I can imagine, dude. I can imagine. So I had a lisp when I was a kid, all the way up to like my early teen years. And so once in a while, it kind of slips in there, right? And I remember I asked my mom about it because I started noticing it was a problem. I don't know. I don't remember how old I was. I was probably just like a preteen at that point. And I'm like, why did you let me continue doing this? Why did we never talk about it or try to fix it? And she's like, well, we kind of thought it was cute. I'm like, so you basically are ruining me for life because you thought it was cute. Onion juice is good for good help for your hair. Onion juice. Can't I just get that by eating onions? Like if I eat a bunch of onions, so I just take the oil on my fingers and just rub it into the hair. Yeah, gaining 2,000 followers in 4 days was crazy. Then I got flagged by someone not liking me and it screeched to a halt. I am still shadow banned on Twitter. So it's crazy. I have one day on Twitter that I have 1.2 million impressions. And then the rest of the week, it's like 5,000 impressions a day. It's one thing with YouTube where it's like, okay, well, I haven't been uploading. I haven't been consistent. That's a me thing. I don't really blame the algorithm for that. Twitter is the whole different thing. That screws you around like hardcore. Like a pet pug, smash its face because we think it's cute. Don't worry about the breathing problems. Exactly. That is me. And that's ironic because I had a pug. So I'm spiritually pug. It's to get the scum that can build up on your scalp. Interesting. I know, mother's right. Scalp massagers are to help maintain or promote hair growth. Why do men not have completely... Okay. I mean, my counter to that, DB, would be that some men probably do. I'd rather be shadow banned than just have content nobody gives a shit about. Facts. Dude, 1,000%. because the people that do see my stuff generally like it or think it's funny. So it's, you know, I know it's not me so much on Twitter. I've got a demented sense of humor, and I'll just kind of post like the most unhinged things that come to my mind. So I know it's not me though. I know that once in a while it's just the algorithm screwing with me. You know, if you give your viewers scalp massages, they'll be happier. I'm not gonna start offering my services to my viewers. I'm not going to pimp myself out. Not at this point yet. Maybe if I hit like rock bottom, I get like DSP levels of desperation, or I don't even know. I don't even know what to call it with DSP, because he acts like he's not desperate, even though he's like incredibly desperate. Yeah, Plix, I probably couldn't compete with that. OnlyFans tier 5 goal. Holy shit. Giving scalp massages to your viewers. We're going to start at the scalp, but we're going to work our way down. That's when you guys start doing like the ASMR stuff where they're like talking like this, and it's all like, I don't understand. I know that some of you guys probably watch ASMR, listen to ASMR, although I think 90% of it's guys watching the chick in the video. I don't get the, what are we even here for today? I don't know, Patriot. I have no idea. Only minimal. Oh my god. Given what I've seen you post the past couple days, I question your sexuality. First, you admit to being okay with men. Yeah. Then saying that you dude in red looked okay. What's your point? DB, I feel attacked, and I don't know what your point is. Is there something wrong with what I posted? I want to see if you can milk a cat. Blah. Stuff's like a knife in the brain. I prefer the tense and normal state of my life, keeps me alert. You know, John, that's the thing I've always said. Yes, once in a while, it's nice to have like an alcoholic beverage. I have never smoked weed, never been high. And so for me, it's like, I like being sober, even at times in life where life sucks and everything has gone to shit and I'm stressed out. I just personally enjoy sobriety too much to ever like truly, like I've gotten drunk before. Don't get me wrong. I've gotten plenty of times where I would not be safe to drive a motor vehicle, but I generally prefer to be sober. You know, married, I live on the edge of stress. Oh my God. Just pointed that, yes, I do see your stuff, even if it's weird. I mean, weird. I'm just being honest. Come on. There's nothing wrong with appreciating the male form. No, see, you got to understand, DB, most of the time what I'm posting is just like the inverse of what you're used to seeing. If there's a million accounts sharing the same image of a white woman, and they're always from India or Nigeria or something, I'm going to do the inverse and point out something about a guy. Because it's funny. Never been smashed or drunk. I just come from one of those lineages that has a very hard time getting properly drunk. I can get drunk. Believe it or not. I know, shocking, my 110-pound soaking wet frame here. I weigh more than that, but that's whatever. Now, I can remember when I was a teenager, I think I weighed like 120 pounds. I look back and I'm like, I don't think I was eating. Oh my God. All military members are gay as fuck. We all shower together. You know the funny thing? Okay, I can't remember when I was talking about. I know I was talking about on Discord. I think A. Vernon was saying how, well, you have to understand that the Starship Troopers movie, it was also meant to be a parody, but he failed because people liked the movie or what. I can't remember what A. Vernon was saying. But when you read the book, Starship Troopers, and then you think back to the movie, they didn't have any of that co-ed shower stuff. They didn't have anything like that in there in the book. And furthermore, I think the only role that women had in the military in the book was like they were the pilots for the ships, for the drop ships. None of them were actually active servicemen. So this whole idea that they try to create in the movie where men and women are equal and they don't see each other really any differently and the men are out there fighting with the women, that I legit just read the book. Never happens. Like there's women officers. Like at one point, there's a female officer. It's his captain, I want to say. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was a female officer. But I'm pretty sure they were all just pilots because I think they were Navy or something. Remember the She-Hulk, one of the benefits of being a Hulk is you can drink all the alcohol you want without getting drunk. That's not a positive. That's true. You'd probably have liver failure before you'd even realize you were drunk. I have some little to do with the Shalong, so long you thought he was originally... Oh my God. I swear I was never in the military. No, not me. That couldn't be me. Not even if I wanted to. All right. So, Patriot, tonight I just kind of wanted to do something I never do, which is actually talk about just movies in Hollywood, because the Odyssey reviews are out. And there's a video by Film Threat, Alan Ng, and Chris Gore that I wanted to watch. I haven't watched it yet, so I haven't seen their review of the Odyssey. I've seen people were sharing clips of the Odyssey on Twitter, on X, as the cool kids call it nowadays. And they've all been copyright taken down at this point. I wouldn't even try to show that. Oh, Robot Head's watching it? Oh, dude, I'll have to watch this video talking about it later. I haven't watched much Robot Head lately because there hasn't... All he has really covered over the years, extensively with Star Wars stuff, and there's just really no market for that, Oh my God, Patriot, dude, I know. As most normal... No, man, X is a stupid name for a platform. I'm sorry. It will always be Twitter to me, Twatter... whatever slur or slang I have for it, I have a hard time calling it. Yeah, well, as far as I know, Starship Troopers was intended as a parody, but Verhoeven managed to make it the opposite. So Ralgor, the way I look at it now, I watched the movie when I was like a late teenager, and I read the book now at 40 years old. From what I understand, he was trying to subvert the book, which was a libertarian, pro-militaristic fantasy, sci-fi fantasy, and invert that into a mockery of what he perceives as fascism, right? To make the humans the bad guys yes, the movie was a quote-unquote parody, but it was a parody of of trying to show how bad fascism was or whatever. Archcast Starship Troopers, the politics is... what's funny? I'm not a huge fan of Archcast. Like, nothing against the guy. I don't know. He was trying to subvert it and then moaned and groaned that everyone liked it. So it was essentially what what's-his-face, the guy that wrote Watchmen, did with the character Rorschach, where he's like, why do you guys all like this character? This character's evil and disgusting, and he acts impulsively, and he's a vigilante, and you shouldn't like vigilantes, I haven't called it Twix because calling it Twitter still is like missing the old days of the lefty control of the platform. See, but DB, you got to understand, for me, life is no better under Elon's Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, than it was before. My first two quote-unquote permanent suspensions, permanent bans that I had to fight for months to get my accounts back, those were under Elon, and there was nobody to appeal to. Back in the pre-Elon leftist hellhole that Twitter was, now, again, yes, Twitter, prior to Elon, if you were a conservative, it's like, I'm not going to say anything online. I'm just going to keep to myself, or my account's going to get attacked and flagged. Yes, that's an improvement, but it's also, there's a lot of net negatives that have come with that as well. So I've been on both ends of the receiving end of that. So we didn't have Twitter back then. Shitter, that was my chat room. Robin Williams, oh my God. Let me see. Left be bug posting about that. Yeah. The crazy thing, you're not kidding. Like, I remember the conversations that would go on Twitter about basically talking about Starship Troopers, talking about Helldivers, essentially comparing the insect creatures from Starship Troopers to Palestinians. I'm like, why are you guys considering that like trying to compare the insect, like horrific, murderous insect creatures from Starship Troopers to Palestinians? Like, this is just, yeah. Because I didn't want to get banned. Yeah, I mean, Wagonburner, you're not wrong. There are times that I would definitely hold my tongue a lot more prior to Elon. And, there's a certain amount of freedom that comes now with that. But now it's like you can get banned, shadow banned, suspended, whatever, for the strangest reason, and there's literally nobody to appeal to now. Pre-Elon, I went years with no bans, then I had some Twitter mods stalking me and ban me at any opportunity. Yeah, so for me, my experience has been very different. But again, whatever, it's all good. He's the Emperor of Slop. I'm not going to disagree with you there, Tekla. I'm not, like, I'm a quote-unquote fan of the memes. I'm not a fan of Elon per se. I like memes. Meme energy, like the meme magic of things and stuff. There are plenty of people who I will post memes of who I do not have any respect for as people. So, let's see. What was it like knowing Jesus personally? Oh my, my God. Plix, 100%, although luckily it hasn't been too hot here yet. The AC is a lifesaver compared to living for 12 years in an upstairs apartment where I had no AC. Big fan of Doge? You mean the Doge that doesn't exist anymore? Does the Department of Government Efficiency even exist? Like, that was the whole thing. Oh, we've found all these... It's kind of like what Nick Shirley does, where he goes around and finds, like, fraudulent government spending and people scamming the government and scamming us out of our tax dollars. And then you hear about it, and sometimes things actually happen. Sometimes, like, a few of those Somali chicks have been arrested and they're being tried for like fraud or whatever. But it's like, how much just kind of slips under the rug, you know? Maybe some people get any sort of banned these days due to mass reporting and having AI that runs a majority of moderation. And this is the AI thing that's really the problem, I think, for me personally. Like, when I got banned wrongfully, there was nobody to appeal to. It was right after Elon had fired everybody. And yes, 60% of those people deserve to be fired, but you have to replace them with one qualified person, you know? Still a group that does that, but they're no longer in the media, right? I mean, to be honest, it's probably a better thing that they're not. It's probably a better thing that they just actually get their job done and stop trying to sensationalize everything. Patriot, I'm right there with you. I'm so burned out on politics as a whole. I'm at that point where it's like, I'll still vote every 4 years, every 2 years. I don't have any faith in anybody anymore when it comes to politicians. So it stopped on July 4th. Doge did? Oh. High ceilings to summer's an asshole to my world. Oh, yeah, Plix, I had that bookmarked. I don't think I have it anymore. Actually, I could check. Hang on, let me see if I still have that. That was crazy. I was going to try to tie that into my anti... Did I get this one? Did I get that bookmark popped up here? I did, okay. I was going to try to tie that into my, self-righteous, anti-Ubisoft, anti-GTA, anti-PlayStation kind of video. I mean, I got my video done today. I wasn't thrilled with it, but I'm like, I recorded it at work before I left to come home. I did a little bit of editing on it when I got home. I'm like, I just needed to put as succinct of, like, my thoughts as succinctly as I could onto, like, something and put it out there, because no one's going to care about Black Flag in like 48 hours. It's already kind of moved past. I don't see it, guys. I don't see the thing that I had saved. But yeah, that was crazy. Hey, Empress, you have not missed anything. I've just been over here, shooting the shit about, Plix was talking about some guy in the military was like 4 feet tall with a 4 foot. Yeah. Not a whole lot of anything important. Plix, that is the only reason I still have Facebook. I'm not even kidding. I just need to take the time because I've been on Facebook since day one. I think I was 19 when I first signed up. And over the years, I would post pictures of my family, my kids, things that I would do. And I don't post on Facebook. Like right now, I think I posted like once or twice the entire year. And it's just so a few of my relatives can see updated pictures of my family. My profile is private. I don't share those publicly. Like, it's all very much like a very small Facebook account that I have. But I've had it for so long that I've got decades of memories on there that I need to save, Has Black Flag been released? Who's excited? I know a lot of people are. I personally don't care. For me, I said in my video earlier, I don't tend to... Like, I don't go back and replay Elden Ring. Elden Ring, when I finally finish the DLC, I will probably never start a new file because I don't have time. I don't have time to go back and play 200 more hours of the same game that I've already beaten. I have to move on and do other things, So I'm not the target audience for a remake. MAGA liked Doge, but it was all a fantasy. Kind of feels like it. Crypto's still big. Dude, crypto is crazy. I had a lot of crypto. I didn't have any Bitcoin. None of that shit. But I did have some crypto that I had to get rid of just to pay bills over the winter. So... I used to post my trips, then my family started asking me for money, so I stopped. Oh my god. Why? Why do people do that? Why? Right, John, and I still have to finish Kazan. I still have to finish Black Myth Wukong. I still have to finish a half dozen other, single-player games that I have not finished yet. So I'm not the target audience for a remake, typically. It's not something that I'm going to be the one playing. And I've said that many times. As much as I was talking for years about, oh my god, I wish they would remake Ocarina of Time. I'm not buying a Switch 2 for that. I'm not. Along the way, if I end up getting my kids a Switch 2 in a couple years, although the price will never go down, so I don't know that I will. I mean, let's be honest. Can I have some money? You're not family. He specifically said family. You got to pay attention to details, Plix. All right. So, we'll get to the Odyssey stuff in a minute. I did find some funny shit that I wanted to share with you guys because why not? Because it's always good for a laugh. And these are some of these I forgot to put on the stream the other day. Hang on a second. I want to put Linux on my Wii U. Good luck with that, dude. I mean, Patriot, it's the same thing as anybody buying a console like when the PS5 first came out, and it literally had like 5 games, give or take. I mean, I'm sure there were some older games, like some PS4 games that were backward compatible on the new system or whatever, but I'm like, I can't imagine buying a console like day one, knowing that for a while there's just not really going to be any reason to have it. So, all right, this one's good. I forgot about this one. It says the liberal woman's intrusive thoughts almost won here. I got to make sure that you guys can hear it. Let me turn this up.
The project is complete. Only 5 permanent jobs remain. 2 Indians, 2 Chinese, and 1 somebody from Nigeria. I'm sorry, I'm nervous.
And then she just can't even finish. She can't even continue. Oh my God.
The project is complete. Only 5 permanent jobs remain. 2 Indians, 2 Chinese, and 1
This guy here cracks me up.
somebody from Nigeria.
You can just tell he's like, oh my God, I'm glad it was her, not me. Whew. All right, let's see. Oh my God. Okay. New fear unlocked. Oh, the old man laughing in the background that's so me. Yeah. Stuck where, it says, firefighters in Kansas City were forced to cut apart a portable toilet after a man somehow became trapped beneath the seat in a strange rescue.
Come out! You're gonna look out of there.
I've never seen this in my life.
Way back. We're gonna cut all the way down. Get way back. Watch your arm. Where's your arm at? Yeah.
Okay, so I have some thoughts on this. People were saying, okay, how did he get in there? Why was he in there? There's something in there that he lost and he went in there after it, like a phone or a wallet or something. Like that's the non-disgusting, disturbing way of looking at it. The other option is Peeping Tom, somebody that was trying to get under there, somebody with some sort of weird fetish. Yeah. Too early for this. I'm sorry, Empress.
Lean forward like you did before. Lean forward and come out.
I can't tell. Now, this is going to sound really racist. This is going to sound incredibly racist, and I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't tell if he's brown normally or if, like, he's brown because of what's in the porta potty down below. So I don't know if this is a person who, like, let's say like a Somali or Nigerian, somebody who's not from around these parts that decided to crawl in there. Didn't need to say it. I'm just saying, like, why? Why is he brown, you know? Oh, DB, this is like new fear unlocked. Although, I mean, sitting down on a porta potty is a last, like, final resort. 1,000%.
No, lean forward. Put your head through the hole. You gotta move. Get the fuck out of there. Hurry up.
They don't want to go in there, man.
So lean forward like you have your head through the first. You got space now.
Dude, I'm telling you, he doesn't want to come out of there.
Put your head through the hole. No, lean your head through the hole, fella. I'm the dumb fuck. While lean forward. Keep leaning. Push back a little. Come on.
Okay, I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think this person is an English-speaking, like, native. That is, ugh, God. Feel so bad for the cop that's driving to jail. Dude, that is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen. Okay, I take it back. It's bad. Yesterday I saw this video of this semi truck that, you know what happened? Okay, Patriot, I need you to enlighten us then, because I don't have a clue. Did they hose him down after? God, I hope so. No, I saw this semi truck involved hit pedestrian situation on Twitter. I'm like, I haven't even had my second cup of coffee in the morning. I don't need to be seeing this. Without a picture, it sounds like hostage negotiations, right? Patriot, oh my God, you might be right about that. You might. Oh my God. Oh my God, you could be like spot on with that. That actually makes sense. Holy shit. Okay. Oh my God, I forgot about this one. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know how I this is my timeline on Twitter. It's either Indian accounts posting pictures of big boobed like women, like white women, and then you click on the account and they're either in India or Nigeria or something, or it's people posting videos of people eating butter. This is my entire Empress, I know. I'm on my so I've had 2 cups of coffee. I had my energy drink earlier. I'm on a cup of black tea right now. It's still not enough. All right, here you go. Mood, let eat one of my favorite snacks. Mood, let eat one of... Okay. All right. Just gonna roll with it.
Food, you guys. Today we're gonna be eating a little snack. One of my favorite snacks. We're gonna be eating...
Little. Okay. He's got like 8 pounds of butter in front of him, and he uses the word little.
Butter with a strawberry frosting, you guys. Let's see. I'm so excited. We're gonna take one butter by itself.
Oh. Okay. I did not expect that. I thought we were gonna have like a lead up into it. I thought there was gonna be like a moment where he was gonna like nibble it, kind of like dunk it in the frosting, taste it, you know. You love eating huge pieces of butter, but are you gonna sit and eat this much butter? Are you gonna sit and eat this much? Look, I like butter. I like butter instead of margarine. For years I grew up on margarine, and butter is so much better, especially like the good Kerrygold butter and all that. But I'm not eating blocks of butter. No, I think that's a dude. Oh my God.
You guys, next we're gonna have some frosting with the butter. Look at that.
Mind you, the frosting is all sugar and fat. It's corn syrup, it's artificial flavor, it's food coloring, which is again is artificial 90% of the time, and more fat. Empress, the problem is that the Nikocado avocado, kind of like how back in the 90s, like growing up in the 90s, there was always like one fat kid in school or one fat kid in your class, and he stuck out like a sore thumb, like, and nobody else was fat, it was just that one kid. This has been done. Like, this is not the way to get famous, because unfortunately you will die before you get famous at this. There's just no way. He'll be dead in 6 months. So I was talking to my wife about this, because we have some family, not even her family, in-laws on my wife's side that are very large. And I'm talking like old, in their 70s, very unhealthy. And I'm like, you know, when you have a bad day or you go through some stuff and, you know, you realize, well, I'm not massive, I'm not overweight, and I'm not, you know, I don't have all these other pre-existing health conditions, but even I have bad days where something's not working right. I'm like, imagine being that age and that size. Like, internally, what is going on? Like what does this guy look like on the inside compared to a normal human, you know? Okay, I can't. Guys, we're done. We're done. 35 seconds in, minute and 49 seconds long, I can't. I just can't. Yeah, Nico did lose a ton of weight. Now he looks weird. It's the funniest thing. Most of his fat videos were things recorded in a short span of time and made to look like live content. He's been losing weight through most of his content run. That is, I didn't know that it was through most of this content run. I knew that it was like he disappeared for a while, or he had pre-filmed a lot of stuff. I didn't realize that was the majority of it. So when you slap a fat roll, you cause a small earthquake. Okay, I can't. Like, why does this kind of content exist? Honestly, I get it, to each their own and all that, but like, good Lord, butter leaking from the screen. Oh, guys, it's just gone from bad to worse. I can't. I'm going to hell. I fight against obesity. If I let myself go, I'd be that size, but I can't. I don't eat donuts and cakes. I love donuts. Haven't had them in years, so I can't. I mean, yeah. I mean, at some point you have to Assess in your brain, okay, is my enjoyment of a food. Now, you're talking a donut. I can understand that. I can sympathize. Donuts are amazing. And I grew up in a bakery. We didn't make donuts. We baked things. Donuts are fried. Donuts are way worse. I mean, baked goods are bad enough, but donuts are fried in grease. So it's just that much worse for you as far as like cholesterol and fat and everything else. But I love a good donut. But in your brain, there's a difference between eating a donut or something that genuinely tastes good and eating a block of butter. I don't this is like the final form of like Melanie Mac here or something. Yeah, Slavicone, I don't understand. So now we have a new hairy croissant trend. I don't know what the hair is. I'm sure it's like some sort of like when they do that weird gastronomy stuff where they make things that look like other things, but apparently this is a thing. Yeah, oh my god. Okay. I want to quit right now. Yes, Plix, people deep fry butter. It looks like he ate Gaza, but let alone all their supplies. Oh my god. It's one of those things where we talk about how the world has always been screwed up, everything's always been fucked, the world's always been going to hell, everything's always been, sickos and freaks and weirdos and degenerates, and that's a Dyke's armpit hair. Yeah, it's like, it's not really hair. It's designed to look like hair. It's a hairy croissant with some sort of creamy liquid he poured down the slit, the center. It looks like he's eating the pubes of every. I swear to God, this is the stuff that I come across in a normal day. In a normal day on Twitter, this is the stuff I encounter. This is a good reason never to use social media. Like, if you ever needed a reason, these streams, just the first 45 minutes of my streams. I know, Empress, we're all done with all that. We're on to Dark Side Phil now, which is actually funny because he's so pathetic. Pubes of a Nigerian. You only see this stuff on my show? I'm telling you, I come across it, somebody will share, because I follow a lot of meme accounts, and so the meme accounts will share a lot of this stuff. And so I'll throw a bunch of them into my bookmarks, and I'll try to remember them for a stream. And then, there'll be one that'll slip through the cracks, like the Nigerian one. I've had that one for a few days, and that one legitimately cracked me up. But yeah, this is just the stuff that I come across, that's all. Anyways, Dark Side Phil apparently was riding high on the hog for about a week, and now he's struggling. I'm going to use this clip in the future, so I got to save this one. In fact, I got to make sure this is still bookmarked, because I need this one. Yes, we need to bookmark that.
If you're enjoying the stream, please give it a like and please support it. All right, I would appreciate the support. If you haven't yet, right now, this is one of the lowest supported streams I've had in a very long time, and I don't...
Man made $36 on a stream. That's more than the quartering makes. And he's over here like, guys, we need support. Not a lot of support on the stream, guys. Oh, only weird that comes across your feed is from your daily dong video from Clara. Across my feed. Yeah. She posts a lot of those, and then she took like a month and a half break, and that's all I have now. Whether the... Oh, no. Plix, 100%. Ellen/Elliot is going to win. 100%. Pandalee was 17 best DS2 Invader against DSP. Yeah. All right. No, don't send me your dollars. Just don't send them to Darkside Phil. That's all. So what he was talking about was this stream here where he says, just had one of the weirdest streams ever. Dark Souls 2, which usually performs very well, tanked with unusually low support. I'm going to hear him saying low support in my brain till the day I die. Then Firehouse Subs got my order completely wrong, so I couldn't do DSP tries it. I'm now uploading, but sadly, I can't really deliver as promised. Sorry, he probably tells his wife that all the time. So this was from, I think, the same stream right here. It says DSP loses a 2v1 against an invader in Dark Souls 2. Now, I know Dark Souls 2 is kind of the quirky, weird one of the trilogy. I never played it. I played Dark Souls 3. But this is pretty sad. Not gonna lie. Let me move this. Why you know Pancake?
Why you know Pancake?
Man just stands there watching the invader kill his buddy. Imagine coming to try to rescue Darkside Phil from his own retardation. You need like some sort of like medal for that. Hey, Rabnad. Did he play Ganon the whole time?
What? How is that a backstab? Are they insane?
What?
Dude, the backstab didn't work. This is terrible garbage. Look how bad this shit is. Dude, I hate it. It plays like garbage. I had a backstab. It showed the backstab animation, and it didn't work. This is fucking stupid, man. I hate
Dude, this
this
entire
invasion
chat is
shit.
just roasting
It
him.
is
Oh
so
my god.
bad.
Yeah, imagine coming to save Darkside Phil and having him completely just stand there while you get destroyed. Oh my god. Ellen Page is in the movie for 5 minutes. You can win an Oscar for that. So I guess, well, okay, I don't want to spoil anything. We'll get to the film threat thing in a second. We're almost up to Film Threat's review of the Odyssey. Plays like garbage. Welcome to Dark Souls 2. Yeah, here's the thing. Imagine playing a Dark Souls game and complaining about it playing like garbage. And now I understand. There's a skill. 100% there's a skill level for Dark Souls type game, Souls likes, that exceeds anything that mere mortals can actually achieve in their lifetime. But the games, for anybody else, are going to play like quote-unquote garbage. That's just the jank of the game, you know? You're doing well with Piranha Plant. He was pissed when I pulled Pyra on him. I lost anyways, though. Dude, honestly, Ganon is like the only guy I rock with. Ganon, Marth, I can do pretty well with Simon or Richter. There's a few other ones that I'll play, but in general, Ganon is always the one I go for. Invaders can be so OP, it's not funny. I always made it funny, low level. Shit builds. Still killed everyone. And DS2, of course, DS3 is different. Yeah, I mean, Dark Souls 3 is a fantastic game. Like, you have to learn how to play the game, obviously. You got to learn how to time your dodges and parries and all that, but it's still a great game. Princess Peach kind of guy, for real? I mean, she's not terrible, but for me, can't wait to torture myself on Saturday for 3 hours. Oh, are you going to go see it? I mean, the only reason I'm even covering it tonight is because Film Threat has a video review of it. I genuinely have had very little interest other than the memes. The memes that have come out about it have been awesome. It's been great, right? I just don't have any interest in watching the movie. I don't know. For real, no cap on God? All right, good. Oh, speaking of which, something good. Mortal Shell 2 official release date trailer came out. Somehow, this came out a week ago, and I didn't know that. I have no idea how I missed this. Hang on. Let me switch to the big screen here.
Tell me, what do your kin do with their dead?
So many dead. We owe them.
Playing Dustborn. Screw that, man.
Through years so obscured by the tears and the strain.
I've heard rumors that the Immaculates can free a man.
Got stuck at the end?
We failed him.
Was there an end? I just played it till I couldn't go any further, I think. Dude, I'm digging the music. Patriot, you took the words right out of my mouth. Probably gonna have to edit this part out of the stream if it's copyrighted. Comes out in a month? Are we that close already? Oh, I got Jampress, yeah. Dude, this game is so fucking cool. I love it.
May you find this in this life or the next.
Dude, I'm so hyped. Yeah, Tekla, I'd be taking a month off from work just to play this if I could. Pre-order and get 72 hours advanced access. Huh. Is that on Steam also? Because I was going to stream the game anyways. The Relic First Guardian. Not sure about that one. That one doesn't sound familiar. I gotta look that one up. No, I'm so in on this game. It's not even funny. Relic First Guardian comes out on 31st of July. Somebody was telling me I needed to check out Blades of... What was the name of that game? Blades of something. It's... crap, I gotta look up on stream. I played the demo for like a couple of hours. Did you, Mike, just raise up? It's like something that suddenly lifted your table. I don't know what you're talking about. My hands are up here. I don't know what that could have done that. Blood of the Dawnwalker, Elder Scrolls Blades. Blades of Shark. No! Is it Blades of Fire? See, I didn't... Blades of Fire was good. The demo was decent. I don't... Something about it is a little off. A little... I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet. I need to finish the demo. Like I said, I played the demo for like an hour and a half. It's pretty extensive. Like, you can actually do a lot of stuff in the demo. I'm just not 100% sold on it yet. So what was the one you were talking about? The Relic First Guardian. Let me just look that up right now. Hang on. Relic First Guardian. I don't think I saw this. Nah, it's like a 12-minute video. I'm just going to take a peek at this. Crafting weapons with different properties is very cool. Yeah, no, there's some cool aspects to it, for sure. And this is going to be one of these things that takes forever to buffer, apparently, guys. So hang on a second. Official... Why don't we just watch the actual trailer for it? Soulframe... First Guardian showcase trailer story. Why is YouTube doing this whenever I'm streaming anymore? That is the weirdest thing. Maybe we'll have to come back to this, guys. I don't know. Oh, here we go. That one's working. Get nothing but nigs. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hello, this is Project Cloud Games.
This is Project Cloud Game.
Through actual gameplay,
I'd like
to show you the exploration and the traces left behind in this world. The world of the Relic is filled with various field events. As players explore the world,
jump ahead
they encounter the traces of...
The water never returned anything. I believed I had cast my axe away, but it was not iron.
I don't know.
Every location holds the life and memories of someone who once lived there.
Where's the combat at? Here we go. Chef's favorite magic spell? Cast Why did his weapons just disappear? Are they magic? I mean, don't get me wrong, this doesn't look bad. It just isn't giving me the same feeling that I get when I watch Mortal Shell 2 where I played the demo.
Road, players may sometimes come across old campfires. We do not know who first lit them.
Your mama lit them.
Yet, their traces still remain. In the next video, we'll introduce the combat and bosses.
Oh, they're gonna introduce combat bosses in the next video. Okay, that could be pretty cool.
We'll see you again in the next.
Like the overall look is pretty awesome. It reminds me of more of a fantastical version of Mortal Shell 1. little more limited looking environments. I don't know. Kind of like Mortal Shell 1 and Elden Ring had a baby. She's very stiff. More stiff than Elliot Page could ever get. Oh my god. Alright. So, moving on. Gotta keep things moving here, guys. Okay. We have information about Assassin's Creed Hex, which is really fascinating because after playing that demo for that dog shit witch game, if that's supposed to be like a ripoff of Hex, then I think Hex is completely screwed. What's this game? It's called, who said to play the trailer? The Relic First Guardian is what the trailer for that was. So, according to this leak here, it says that Assassin's Creed Hex, new details, magic in the game has been reportedly removed. Large-scale map with forests, villages, towns, rivers, and woodland outposts. Fear system from Jack the Ripper reportedly returns, causing NPCs to panic, misfire, or flee. Darker visuals said to be a major upgrade over Shadows. There's a joke in there I'm not going to make. Revamped audio makes it harder to detect enemies through walls. NPCs are more suspicious of outsiders like protagonist Annika, making stealth more challenging. Now here's the weird part. This game, as I understand it, is supposed to take place in Germany. Is it Hexa? I have no idea. Oh, 1666 is such garbage. It's so bad. That demo is complete shit. Magic has been removed, so it's a witch game, Assassin's Creed witch game, and there's already aliens and all sorts of weird sci-fi supernatural stuff in Assassin's Creed as it is, so why not have magic with the witches or whatever? What does it matter? But as far as I understood, it was supposed to take place in Germany, right? Jack the Ripper was English. Like, that was English folklore or, you know, legend or whatever. How is Jack the Ripper in a game that's supposed to take place in Germany unless it's not actually Germany? I have no idea. I'm still, like, so iffy on whether this game's even going to come out the way that they're saying it is. I have no idea. I don't know if you guys saw this one, this game Dear Passengers, more friend slop. Looks fun, looks stupid. Apparently there's an issue because the devs that made it included a Jeffrey Epstein reference in its trailer. It says it amassed 40 million views and 500,000 Steam wishlists in less than a day. What was the reference? I don't even think I saw this. Let me see here. Did they intentionally make one of the passengers look like Trump, and is that pilot's name Epstein Jeffrey?
Burger, cola, go help. Let's go!
Jack the Ripper calls himself the Red Baron for the German version. Jawohl, mein Herr. I would pronounce it that way in German. So Hexa. Interesting.
That's coffee break plus. You get a coffee and get out of.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's right there. It's not Epstein though. It's J EPST period J. So here's what happens. There are a few other cultures that have other cultural stories. Well, and that's the thing. We don't know that they're going to actually call whoever it is Jack the Ripper. It could be a different legend, but it is weird that they're using that as kind of like a reference point. You got to understand, these guys that are testing these games out are probably like fucking around behind the scenes, just like having fun with it. And so somebody's like, I'm going to make my pilot's name Jeffrey Epstein, right? And somehow it made it into the trailer. I think that's hilarious. I mean, people in the comments were like, so we're all okay with the fact that these politicians and stuff are getting away with this, but we're all going to cry and whine because some guy had that in a trailer for a video game, right? Wasn't he getting revenge against hookers for giving him STDs? John, I don't think there's any verifiable information that proves that Jack the Ripper was even a real person, or that all the prostitutes that were murdered by him were even murdered by the same guy. All they know is that there were some whores, some hookers that turned up dead, that had parts cut out of them, and the whole the letter from hell, I think it was called, that had like some weird references to eating their kidneys or something. Like there was some, it was weird shit. It could have just been like a literal schizophrenic, right? There's no proof that the same guy killed all of them either. Volbeat though has an awesome song about Mary Jane Kelly, who was one of his victims. That song slaps. Oh, Hexa means witch in German. Well, there you go. My German's a little rusty. So, okay, that's interesting. Marathon players are apparently organizing a community event called Marathon Revival Week. Oh my god. Which will take place from July 21st to July 28th. All right, guys, set your calendars. We've got 6 days. They're going to save Marathon in 6 days. Oh, Volbeat's awesome, dude. Although Volbeat, I think, is what, Danish? I love me some Swedish metal, but, you know, some of the other guys like Avantasia, the lead singer from, I think it's Ed Guy, is how you pronounce the bands. Tobias Sammet, and then Swedish metal bands and shit. I love all that. I thought Marathon was shut down already. No, it's still there. See, Lola Montez is not one of my favorites. It's good, but it's not in my top 5. There are loads of speculation that Jack the Ripper wasn't real at all. Rumors and reports that it could very well have been multiple killers that became the one Jack. Now, Jack the Ripper, I think, is a very cool legend, and if modern Hollywood had any talent at all, they could actually make a very, very good movie with like some sort of Jack the Ripper twist. But I don't think I've ever seen a good movie that's tried to do that. Do they even have 5 players to rub together? That was the same 5 players that... Never mind, I'm not going to say it. I'm just getting this mental image when you said 5 players of the circle jerk meme. Hell is Us. I think it's interesting. Have you played it? I have not. I've heard good things about it, though. Who made Hell is Us? I remember hearing about that game not too long ago. Actually, I looked at picking it up. The idea is simple. Invite a friend to try the game, help new players get started, and leave a review. Okay, this is fantastic. This actually might be worth a video when this actually happens. Because here's the thing about Marathon. Everybody that was a Marathon shill, that was all like, we don't need PvE in Marathon. We don't want you, the casuals over here. This is a serious, hardcore PvP extraction shooter. Take your dirty casuals and dad gamers and go play, you know, what was it? Arc Raiders and stuff. Now they're basically doing like this Care Bear Hug Fest where they're going to bring new players in and basically like coddle them and try to, like, you know, convince them to play the game. Oh, because look how great it is. We're going to help you. We're going to level you up. We're going to give you all this free stuff. And then we're going to turn you loose, and then everyone else is going to kill you, and you're not going to want to play the game anymore. Like, are you serious right now? Oh, my God. Nacon May. Okay, cool. You have to check it out. Marathon Revival Week. I'm sure the 1,000 people that participate will move mountains. I know, right? Well, you guys saw the free-to-play week. It was like, what, 40,000 was the peak? Which... could have been a lot of the original players coming back, hoping that other players were now playing the game because it was free. Yeah, Patriot, the entire thing from top to bottom. That's why there's other names I mentioned. Spring Hill Jack, because he could always vanish from a scene, even in an alley, like he could leap higher than the building or even fly to get away. See, you know more about this than I do. No worries, Empress. It's all good. I need to work out. I worked out pretty much every day at the hotel for like the 3 nights we were there. My daughter, she wanted to go down to the gym, and then the last night my son and a couple of friends were down there, and I tried to make sure they didn't hurt themselves. But I need to actually get back to the real gym. Now that my back is feeling a lot better. Free to play is a much better ad for the game. It still failed. What are these shills thinking? I don't know. The new community hopes these small actions will help bring more... I still can't rationalize in my head, bring more players to Marathon by being friendly to them on a game where we don't want to be friendly to people. It's a walking contradiction. The organizer says this isn't because they think the game is dead. They see it as a community-driven effort to grow the player base and give the game a boost. This is Jeremy's not dead coffee company that he's clearancing all of his shit on. Yeah, Matt Stanford, exactly. There's nobody playing it. Jacob Navik? I can't remember how to pronounce his name. It says CEO and Emmy Award winner. Who is this guy? Previously President's Office at Square Enix Holdings. Says, I'm going to guess that a $200 million write-down for the first quarter of the fiscal year and a $500 million write-down for the second. Ginger Prime quote tweeted this and said, that would make Marathon 3 Concords worth of write-downs if I'm tracking it correctly. Absolutely insane. Can get the man in the gym, but you can't get the gym out of the man. Jacob No Dick, there you go. Analyst Ben Thompson said that Rockstar should be charging No, don't just charge $200 for GTA 6. Charge like $500 for GTA 6. Charge $1,000. I want them to charge as much money as they can for GTA 6 and basically milk these people for everything they can. Yeah, 3 Concords worth of failure. That's something. That really is something. Revival sounds like you want to revive something from Renaissance, not a Multiplayer game from a month ago? Yeah. Like a Renaissance, exactly. Former Renaissance, thank you. Sorry, I got the burps. I just love this. I want them to basically convince Rockstar to charge as much as they possibly can. Just go for it. You know, future games, $300. Why not? I just won't buy any of them. It's that easy. Oh my god, I had to share this one because I have no idea. Maybe we'll watch. I don't like Andy Pants for various reasons, but he shared this yesterday. Says new video dropping tomorrow. Jason Schreier, Lying Geichu. I'm like, that's a thumbnail. That's certainly a thumbnail. Not a fan of Jason Schreier. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be upset if that title stuck. That actually is kind of funny. All right, so moving on. He's out of line, but he ain't wrong. I'm like, well, by all accounts, he's right on the money there. I guarantee that Rockstar used AI to make GTA 6. I mean, to some degree, a lot of them are using AI for a wide variety of things, right? So here we go. So Empress, we're going to be watching Film Threat's review of the Odyssey now. Because, oh my god, if you guys have watched anything covering the Odyssey, like I said, this is not something where I was deeply offended because, oh my god, they're ruining history. No, first off, I have no history with the Odyssey. I did not grow up reading the Iliad or the Odyssey. I need to pick up a copy of both. My brother had a copy of the Iliad when I was younger. I remember I was like 8 or 9. I tried picking it up and reading it. I'm like, this is boring. So I never got around to reading them. But I've been on this reading binge lately. I'm on book 2 of Dune. Dune is probably one of the greatest book series I've ever read, and I've only gone through the first book. And I read the entire Witcher series. Witcher series is fine. I haven't read Wheel of Time yet. Obviously, Lord of the Rings trilogy, goated. Dune, though, is really well written. I really like Dune. They forced me to read the Iliad in school. I think that's the problem. Nolan just made a movie. You don't have to read it now. Yeah. No, I think I do need to read it, though. I think I do. I'm on the second book, yeah. Dune Messiah. I was waiting. I had to wait like 2 weeks for the entire... It took Walmart 2 weeks to get off their ass and actually ship me the book series. So I read the first one. I'm now like 50 or 60 pages into Dune Messiah. I'm going to try to power through that one in the next week or so. Because I want to finish the original 6 books in the set. So yeah, I don't know if the Iliad or the Odyssey are good books for what they are, but certainly I want to read them for myself. So, reading the first, Dune is good, man. It's really good, very well written. I'm on the rolling machine now and watching. Okay, there you go. Rockstar could use Chinese sweatshops and it would be advancement of the industry. Yeah, you're not wrong. All right, so here we go. Film Threat, who I don't think I've ever watched their stuff. In fact, I don't even think I'm subscribed. I should be, though. And it is their review of the Odyssey. Haven't opened it yet. So they did an out of the theater review. I actually watched that one. I think it was yesterday when they uploaded it. Chris Gore seemed to be a little bit more iffy on the movie. He liked parts of it. Alan hated it. he was pretty much disgusted with everything he saw.
Plus one, and I'll say this: just because you make an epic, it doesn't mean that isn't epic or should be treated as thus. And the immediate comparison has to be Lord of the Rings. This one just, I don't know. There was so much wrong with this movie. I'll start with the acting. You mentioned it before. And I mentioned it then. I was seeing...
well, Matt, that certainly is a you problem. Jeremy Johns gave it an awesome tacular, which is disappointing. Jeremy Johns, why do I know that name? See, I don't watch film critics typically. Not like, even the YouTubers, even like the Critical Drinker and stuff, I just don't typically watch film reviews because I assume if a YouTuber is reviewing something, it's probably going to be bad because 90% of the time it is. And then if it's a good film or a good show, I'll get around to watching it at some point on my own, if I even care, you know? Chris is super objective. He views things from all angles usually. Well, yeah, Desparu is really good. He's really funny. So when I didn't finish the Willow series that my wife made me watch the first half of, we got to episode 5, and I made an executive decision. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not watching this shit anymore. Then I watched like Desparu's review of the finale, and oh my god, I couldn't believe how bad that show was. Oh yeah, no worries, Matt. I try to keep my volume low. Like I don't even have my headset on. I've got my headset over here on my speaker, and I've got the headset turned up so I can hear it without it echoing back into your guys into things. So 65% shield, 35% based. Damn. So he's more of like he's less of a legendary drops, who's more like a 55 more like a 65 base, 35 shield split. Ending was too gay for me. Dude, oh, it was so bad.
Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland on screen as Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, and Tom Holland. There was very little effort given to characterization. I will say that there was only really one character.
This before on his Out of the Theater review that, well, you look at these actors and actresses on screen and all you see is the actors and actresses. Okay. This is kind of why I don't like seeing actors and actresses that are recognizable in my video games. I want them to create original characters because you do kind of get tired of seeing the same people in the same roles or the same people in this, in films and shows and video games over and over and over again. The problem is with real movies, you're going to have the same actors because they're actors for a reason. They have a certain set of skills, and be that what it may, and that's what their job is. They get paid to be actors, right? So, hey, Geekazu, Deborah Wilson should be banned. Her character, look, I have no problem with her voicing characters. Like, she's voiced characters I didn't know were her before. It's the representation of her on screen every freaking time that they do that, So, for example, guys, like the Legend of Zelda movie, the live action that they're doing, that I think is a terrible idea, and I would not be shocked if the movie turns out to be dog shit. At least they cast people who we don't know. Like, most of us don't know who they are. So they find people who fit the characters based on appearance, and hopefully they can also act. I hear you, geek. I hear you. I got you. Hey, Oblivion holding down things over on Twitch. Yeah, I didn't like Zendaya Mass Effect Andromeda. Dude, knowing Zendaya, however the hell you pronounce the name, is in Dune makes me not want to watch the movie. Like, as much as I'm enjoying the book series on the first read through, I'm not going to make myself watch the movies, I think. They say the best actors disappear from the screen. I mean, that's the thing. So you can still, look, Mel Gibson is amazing in everything he is in, but a lot of his roles were, I'd say, different. He does a decent job, at least he did in the past, of trying to distinguish his characters one from the other. But, certain personality quirks are never going to go away. The way that he smirks, the way that he chuckles, the way that he laughs, those kind of things with characters, that's the person. Now, the actor is going to try to play a different role, obviously, with a different script and a different setting. But on some level, it's kind of like a nitpick to a degree. Like, I think that it's fair to be like, oh my God, it's just an ensemble cast of everybody who's in Hollywood right now. It's like the who's who of Hollywood at this moment. But, what are you going to do? So they're Nolan's actors from before. I mean, yeah, Anne Hathaway was in Dark Knight Rises? Is that the name of that one? Yeah. Even the Greater Than the Patriot. But the thing is, Patriot, ironically, he's still Mel Gibson in every role he's in. Like, I love Mel Gibson. Braveheart's one of my all-time favorite movies. People say Patriot's better than Braveheart. I say that's garbage. Braveheart is a better epic than Patriot, 100%. Patriot is just more a theater movie. It's more of a popcorn flick. Braveheart's definitely a little bit slower pace. But he's still the same guy, regardless of the Scottish accent and the kilt and the face paint. That's in the Patriot. That's also Lethal Weapon, Ellen Page's Inception. He was also great as the director of Apocalypto and that, Passion of the Christ. Yeah. Wise ass duck, thank you. Braveheart over Patriot's hand down. And Patriot's a great movie. It is an enjoyable movie. But Braveheart as an epic is so much better. Patriot, it was just one scene, man. Just one scene. Oh my God. All I care about is that they didn't cast a dude as Zelda. I mean, you've got pretty low standards there. The girl they cast for Zelda is beautiful. She looks like she's perfect for the role. They found the most effeminate, twink, non-gay looking guy they possibly could. So, I mean, I think they did great with the casting for Legend of Zelda. I just don't know how it's going to go, Yeah, she's cute. It's like everyone's like, oh no, Hunter Schafer was made to play this role. Or some people were saying like Anya Taylor-Joy with the sunken in cheeks and the fish eyes on the side of the head. I'm like, stop. Please stop. Yeah, Link is a twink. Exactly, yeah. Mel in every movie. X is a different character. Quirks aside, is not acting the same in each film. Chris Pratt. Okay, yes, Mel Gibson's a much better, more talented actor than Chris Pratt, and that's part of what it comes down to is the ability to, while you do have your own personal look, like I said, Mel Gibson's always going to sound and act like Mel Gibson, but he can portray a different character better than a guy like Chris Pratt, 100%. I don't think I've seen Last of the Mohicans. Was that a remake, or because I know the old one was back in like the 70s, wasn't it? Elliot Page was tailor-made for Zelda. Stop.
Hathaway was fine. It was her supporting actors who were so low energy that it made her performance look over the top.
Okay, can we be fair? Matt Damon sucks. I loved Bourne Identity. I thought the first Bourne Identity movie as an action flick was really cool. Okay, but it's Matt Damon. The man has no energy whatsoever. The quartering is more high energy than Matt Damon. Matt Damon might be the most boring actor in all of Hollywood. Okay. So, I mean, it's not hard to say, oh, well, Anne Hathaway was overacting compared to Matt Damon. Matt Damon sucks, all right? He's been in some good movies, but he has zero personality whatsoever. A movie about Greek soldiers with nary a Greek to be seen. Now, you know, Devil's Advocate, everyone's always like, yes, but, you know, you're okay with the 300 Spartans movie not having any Greeks either. And it's like, now, again, that's just the Devil's Advocate, like, straw man argument, if you will. It's like, no, it's trying to cast actors who look good in the role as Greeks versus trying to cast as many diversity points as you possibly can, you know? Music in the remix is half the movie, which is Braveheart, wouldn't be without that same energy with their score. Braveheart's score, James Horner, phenomenal score. One of the best film scores of all time. And it's up there, I'd say, with like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, and just the score in Braveheart is so good. Gladiator score, Wolfgang, I think that was Wolfgang Peterson, right, that directed it? No, Ridley Scott did it. Who did the music for Gladiator? I cannot remember. That might have also been James Horner. I think it was, actually. It's another Keanu movie. Keanu just does a great job. Keanu's also a boring guy, though, that it works for him, though. I think about the movie Constantine, the one with Shay when he was a kid, only thing I liked him in. Keanu Reeves in Constantine, I thought was really good. I actually really liked that movie. I know it was kind of a dud, kind of a flop, but I really liked the Constantine film. Don't think especially liked anything Christopher Nolan's done. Some were okay. For me, guys, it was just the sequel, the Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale Batman, because I saw that with my wife on our second date in theater. Second or third, I think it was our second date. We went and saw the Batman movie with the Joker. So,
you know, the Matt Damon was just so glum and one note in terms of deliverance.
That's Matt Damon.
That was just like, there's no energy here. This is like Rock playing Maui. There's just no energy going on here.
Yeah, and you're right. Well, Matt Damon peaked with the Bourne Identity films because he played a guy who basically, the first movie, he had no memory of anything he'd done. And he was just a heartless killing machine. So it makes sense that he had no emotion, right? So much of you get Peter Stormare as Satan again. He was so good. He was so good as Satan. Oh, my God.
And, you know, there's a lot of things that you like that I just didn't feel. The Cyclops scene. I mean, quite frankly, seen it done, but should be a master director. And everything about this movie doesn't feel special in any way, other than the fact that it was shot on an IMAX camera, and that it's
which we're gonna get into in a minute. The IMAX thing. Have to do the part where they say that Helen is disfigured. I remember I saw something about that. I saw something about that. Oh my God. Cyclops in Lord of the Rings. No, there's no Cyclops in Lord of the Rings. At least I don't even think in the deep lore like the Silmarillion there's even references of Cyclops. Although there's werewolves and vampires that are mentioned in the Silmarillion. But I don't know if that's canon because the Silmarillion was like an unfinished book. But you know the funny thing, DB Wild, I remember watching the Constantine TV show they tried doing a couple years back, and I didn't like it at all. It's just not good.
Supposed to be his epic. You know, the fight scenes, the war scenes, you know, they sneak out of the Trojan horse. I'm like, I've seen all this before. I've seen it all before. And then this theme of I want to go home. It's been so long, I want to go home. And then Tom Holland's character, I want my daddy back. My daddy's still alive. I want him to come back. How many times do you have to say that throughout the entire movie? How many times do we have to get the point? And the thing is, that's
the thing. Okay, so what do they always say when it comes to like storytelling? Show don't tell. Yeah, right. So the show was more close to the like source material. Sure, that I can understand. I just didn't like the show so much. Dumbed Down for TV was still closer. Yeah, they did make him gay in the comics, didn't they? I remember hearing something about that years ago, and I'm not a comic book guy, but I remember hearing about that a couple years back.
It's a great story. That's a great theme for a story, but it was so mishandled here that it just felt labored. You know, that's what you build a movie around, is this desire to be a family once again. And it just felt like, well, look, if we say we want to go home, then therefore you're going to buy into it and buy into the fact that we've earned that. And this is the thing. This is what I'll say about this entire movie.
Dude, the monitor behind him says Trojan horse shit. 1997 Odyssey miniseries. She was good. Look at all the characters. Hang on, let me pause this a second, because I know I'm gonna forget. Let me put this on the side here. 1997 Odyssey. I mean, that looks very 90s for sure. That's very, very 90s. But the thing about it is, there was something better about a lot of these old films. Like, okay, if you go back to like Jason and the Argonauts, movies like, why can't I think of the name? The one with Perseus in it, with the Kraken. Why can't I think of the name of the movie? I've watched it like a dozen times. Highly recommend watching the 97 version. Yeah, I need to actually read the book before I watch any version of it, you know? Remember, right? He was constantly tormented by hell, and sex for him was like taking a pain-relieving drug. Oh, so he was just not Percy Jackson. Oh my God. Clash of the Titans. Thank you, Angels. Thank you, Ralgor. Clash of the Titans. Now, I blipped again something about Titans. Now, the thing is, actually, come to think of it, the first Clash of the Titans movie with Sam Worthington, the remake, I didn't think was terrible. Wife wanted to have the Do You Believe in God talk. Oh my God. Are you in trouble? What did you do? What did you do, man? No, so the Clash of the Titans movie with Sam Worthington I thought was all right. And then they made a sequel, and that never should have happened. Ever. Like, the first movie it's fine. It's fine for a remake. It's not as good as the original, but it's fine. Leave it at one film.
Nothing is earned.
Could they have found a more, like, twink soy cast than Matt Damon, and I'm going to say it, what's his name? John Bernthal, the Punisher? Because I'm sorry, guys, in real life, he is I can't use the word on YouTube. And Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson, and then you throw in freaking Elliot Page on there. Yeah, Wrath of the Titans was so bad. But I thought the remake was all right for Clash of the Titans. Like, good Lord. I believe in God, but I like annoying my wife to no end. Based. Very, very based. Multiple films, or he should have done. Because here's the thing. The Iliad. Help me out here, guys, because I didn't read the Iliad. The fall of Troy, isn't that in the Iliad? And if it's in the Iliad, is it also in the Odyssey? Because I thought the Odyssey was a continuation from the Iliad. And so why is the fall of Troy and the Trojan horse even in the movie The Odyssey to begin with? Why am I post-duplicating? I have no idea. Are they popping up twice? I've only seen them once. Stunning and brave, yeah. What they should have not done is not make this. Easy as that, right? So I'm confused as to why the fall of Troy is happening in the Odyssey when I thought it happened in the Iliad. But he's like a 14-year-old. But, I mean, Patriot, isn't Spider-Man canonically, when he first becomes Spider-Man, supposed to be a teenager? I'm not a comic book guy. For me, I liked the cartoon Spider-Man where he's kind of a jock and he's in, like, college or something. I always preferred Peter Parker from the cartoon. But I know the cartoon's not canon and everything else. Robert Pattinson's better than the rest of the cast combined. I know, but the first thing I ever saw him in was Twilight, and I can't look at him the same. And I get it, he's a serious actor, and people have said, move on from Twilight, guys. He's grown up since then, and I get it. I just have a really hard time. That's all. Oh, he took parts from both stories. Okay.
Because that was the problem with the editing, is that there's no chance to breathe. Because once one scene's over, snap, we're in another scene. We're in another scene. And it felt like it was just a series of highlight scenes throughout the entire movie. There was just no moment to rest, to breathe, and let an emotional moment sink in.
Well, yeah, because it sounds like they made the movie too freaking long. And there was something about keeping it under 3 hours, because I know the movie is like 2 hours and 50 minutes long or something. And I can't remember why they said Christopher Nolan had to shave off like 20 minutes to get it under that 3 hour mark. I don't know if it was like something with like, I can't remember what the reason before it was.
And I'll give you, oh yeah, okay.
He was in Harry Potter before Twilight, you're right.
One is, so obviously this is the Troy.
He wasn't bad in Harry Potter either. Actually, I kind of remember liking his character. Robert Pattinson in Harry Potter, his character was decent, right? Yeah, he's the one that dies. And they get sabotaged during the competition thing they were doing. Yeah. Yeah, he actually had a good character there. Pretty sure he was in last year of high school at the start, then we got bitten following scenes. Yeah, I liked him in the cartoon far better. Yeah, the glitter vampire things, it's a tough thing to come back from, it really is.
War of Troy. And then the return back, and they face monsters. And every time they face danger and then have to run away from the danger, I kept thinking to myself of Monty Python, where they're selling "Run away, run away." I mean, there are at least 3 times where I just kept thinking, "Run away, run away." And then, of course,
okay, I didn't start the glitter talk. That was Plix. That's his fault.
We talk about the time shifting of Christopher Nolan. There's a lot of time shifting in this as well, and there's a moment. So I won't. I'm prefacing it by saying you don't know when this is in the movie, but there's a moment where there's a conversation between Odysseus and Penelope that felt like theater, community theater to me. Like it was set up on a stage, and there's just no emotion in it. It just felt like they were just reciting lines.
Plix, that sounds like a conversation that you need to take with a therapist or something. I don't know what to tell you there, buddy. Oh my God. Probably should have been a Monty Python style comedy. So Tekla, the thing that I've seen people defending the casting, the diverse casting, people always point to like the modern Romeo and Juliet that had Leonardo DiCaprio in it back in the day. And they're like, well, that was done in a more modern style. And so the cast was diverse. And so this isn't being made to be canonically correct and, you know, historically accurate for the time that it was written. This is more of like a modern take. I'm like, it's a modern take, but everything looks old as shit. Everything looks like, you know, 1000 BC. So you can't really have it both ways. You can't say it's a modern take on a classic, but then everything looks like it does, except this crazy diverse cast and a bunch of like, I don't know. It's just, yeah. I have to visit a new therapist. Oh my God. The all-male cast at a military academy. I have no idea what you're talking about.
And then I lied. I'll end on this one last one. The Athena character. There's a point to the
right,
character.
Matt. Exactly. That's a better way of putting it.
At the end, that just didn't feel earned. Like it was tacked on to say, hey, this is every emotion you should have felt while watching the film, and we're going to bring it to you at the very end. And so now you get it. And by then I was like, how many times did I roll my eyes in this movie? How many times did I...
That sounds like they ran out of time. So they basically skipped to the end and they're like, here's what you're supposed to feel at the end of this. They could have done a modern Odyssey, but that's not what they did. Correctable at the end. It's funny, we keep using the word Odyssey, and I was thinking about the platform Odyssey is basically like in shit shape. And so it's like everyone online is talking about the Odyssey, the movie, and it's like I'm over here seeing conversations about Odyssey, the platform. I'm like, oh yeah, 2 different things. If it's setting something in ancient Greece, it needs to reflect ancient Greece. Yep, look it up sometime. It's a great movie, not even a little gay. I have a feeling it's probably more than a little gay. Didn't run out of time. I don't think they ran out of money. I have a hard time believing they ran out of money. When shit like Moana gets greenlit and apparently costs the same amount of money as this film, I don't think it's a matter of money. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou is a better take on the Odyssey. So I tried watching that when I was younger. When it first came out, I couldn't do it. I got like half an hour into the movie and I'm like, this is just kind of weird. Like maybe I need to go back and watch it again. I really didn't understand that movie back when I was younger.
Just the bad dialogue and the bad acting. This is look.
It's a great movie.
I think it's at 98%
Fucking
now.
masterpiece. Wow.
Me and 2 others make up that 2%. And the more I think about it, I can't get myself to like this movie at all. The more I think about it, you know, I do ask myself once in a while, am I wrong? And I think about what I saw, and it's like, I'm not wrong. This is just, again, spoiler alert, the Emperor is naked.
Dude, I did that the entire week after my car accident. I'm like, wait, am I remembering it wrong, or was there any way I could have avoided that? Like, yeah. That's what you do when you want to tell an old story in a new way. Interesting. Because I'm a man of constant sorrow. Yeah.
Let me give you my take.
It's
because I agree
chapstick.
with you on some things. Let's start with some of the things that I enjoyed. Chris Nolan could straight up make a horror film. The scenes with the Cyclops, being portrayed as a sympathetic monster, the puppetry of this giant Cyclops, which I would compare to, if you've ever seen, I haven't seen this play. There's a King Kong play on Broadway where they have an animatronic puppet Kong.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I think, how they may have done that effect using photo trickery and some giant props, which were really effective.
You're not wrong. Chris Gore tries to be more objective. Alan Ing seems to be more in his, nah, this is shit and you're not going to convince me it's otherwise, you know. It goes on to lips or else it gets the hose again. That's right.
They stole from a Universal Studios tour.
Yeah, the scene with Circe turning the men into pigs that I thought was straight up out of a Ken Russell, The Devil's horror film in the 70s.
Best moment in the film.
It was one of the best moments.
Oh my God, that's something else George Lucas stole. You guys realize how creatively bankrupt George Lucas is? And I say that as somebody who loved Star Wars as a kid. Everything he ever did in every movie was basically stolen from other movies or people that had other ideas that he stole. And some of them he perfected, some of them were better with his version. Like the movie Willow, he stole from like 7 different stories. It's crazy.
There are other moments of sheer terror. There are moments that should have felt epic, but I feel like I've seen bigger, more epic things in other movies like Lord of the Rings. Chris Nolan is very married to not using CG. Very well done.
Dude wants the Battle of Pelennor Field scene in the Odyssey movie. Yeah, see, here's the thing. You can have your complaints with the movie, and here's... from what Alan Ing said, he's like, it's pretentious. I don't do pretentious films, okay? I don't watch a Tarantino film or a Scorsese film that is objectively a bad, unenjoyable experience and go, oh, it was so well done. It was art. It's so thought-provoking. If I don't enjoy a movie for the entertainment value, I'm probably not going to want to enjoy it. Like, I'm not going to recommend it. I'm not going to say it's good. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10. I'm going to say it's not entertaining, right? Yes, I'm capable of more than just surface level, like Michael Bay type films where everything's blowing up. This is great. Or, but there's a certain level of pretentiousness with certain films and certain directors where it's like, you have to be like a complete snob to even pretend to enjoy some of these movies. I don't watch a movie for a scene. I watch a movie for the experience. Right. Well, but bad scenes... provoked to take my swords out. Bad scenes in a movie can ruin the whole experience. And so a scene that's not well done or a scene that doesn't make any sense is going to have an effect on every other corresponding scene. Directors have to stop writing movies. They suck at it. Yeah, I mean, get a talented writer to write something. Get a person that's, a good screenplay adapter to make the screenplay, and then Baywatch. Okay, but no one said Baywatch was art. Nobody said Baywatch was like, the pinnacle of TV or film. It was a very simple concept. He's a thief and Microsoft's a thief, but sometimes you need good thieves to bring thieves to life. I'm not saying that George Lucas didn't have good stories. George Lucas did write good stories. But what George Lucas did? He gave his stories to other more talented directors. I watched that X versus Seaver movie and fell asleep. I don't even know what that is, man. I have no idea. They're bringing Baywatch back. Oh my God. Boobs. It was boobs. Yes, that was the concept.
But then I felt the same
Gay watch.
in a similar way.
I'm gonna be a
I felt
dad.
when I saw Matt Reeves' The Batman, where I really loved parts of the Batman, mostly the beginning.
I've never watched the Batman. I don't care.
Pattinson's portrayal of Batman. But there are things I really didn't like. There are things that do not work in the Batman. And that is true here. First up,
It's gonna be on Fox.
the modern language really just lands with a thud.
All right, so the modern language thing, this is something that I was actually shocked. That movie Prey, the really awful, most recent Predator movie, if you don't count the Predator Badlands animation or whatever, I think that's the most recent thing. The movie Prey was dog shit. And the amount of people glazing that movie and hyping it up, after I watched it and I'm like, this movie is garbage. The number one issue I took, aside from the fact that the character is retarded and she should have died like 1,000 times when she didn't because she was fucking stupid, is the fact that every one of like the Comanches spoke like a modern day college student, like some 20-year-old hipster on a college campus. So again, the dialogue not being adapted appropriately, like you're not going to have these guys speaking like ancient Greek, right? Didn't Elliot Page play the Predator? Whoever it was just as short. I don't know. No, but for real, the modern language, the modern way of speaking in that movie was one of the many things that ruined it for me. Concept was good, the movie was crap. Yeah, the concept could have been fine, but the movie was so bad. The CG, the effects were terrible. The acting was garbage. The premise, the story, everything about it was bad. Dude, what's up, Ancient Indian? I'd have to go back and show you exact snippets of it to make my point. But I'm telling you, my wife and I were watching Prey, and I'm like, why are they talking like they're not, Comanche Indians in the 1700s? They're that movie might have late 1700s. No, sorry, that would have been mid 1800s. I'm thinking about the weaponry they had. Yeah, so mid 1800s, plain Indians talking like they're like 2000s college students. Imagine if they actually, I don't know, people spoke their fucking language. It's funny, the Europeans are the ones that even spoke the language instead of English. Korean Cowboy, that's another thing. Teach the actors to actually speak the language, or at least learn the lines in the language of the time, and give us subtitles. It's like they act like subtitles are offensive to people because you have to read while watching something. Dude, I tried watching Last Samurai Standing without subtitles. My wife was watching with me, so we watched it in English, and she doesn't like subtitles with her films, with movies and TV shows and all that. And after an episode and a half, I switched it back to Japanese with subtitles, and the show instantly got better. Like 1,000% better. Some things you just need subtitles for.
Diminishes the weight and the scale and the gravitas of what should be more classical language.
Oh yeah, Patreon, me too.
I mean, that to me is why did he do that? He was trying to be modern. It reminds me of another deconstruction, because what we see is through the Odysseus character, he's
Men in Tights is goated. It's one of the best films, dude. Modern Hollywood has no concept to let people take in a way of speaking other than TikTok brain. They assume people nowadays are too dumb to grasp. I mean, okay, to be fair, the average person is kind of retarded, but dumbing things down for them doesn't help.
Kind of imbued with PTSD.
It wasn't a movie. The Last Samurai Standing was a show. It was loosely based on like historical events of the time in Japan post, I can't remember what the era was, but it's when the samurai were essentially decommissioned. And it was based on a comic book or a manga that was then turned into, I think it's a Netflix show, and it's actually really good. But again, do not watch it with the English dub. The English dub is awful. It will ruin the entire experience for you. I want to go back and watch the whole first episode all over again in Japanese, because in English, it was garbage. But yeah, basically the point of the premise of the story is that there's somebody behind the scenes trying to get the samurai to kill each other, and so they create this competition. It's when Japan is dealing with all sorts of like famine and poverty, and I think it's not smallpox, it's something else going around, cholera or something. And so the samurai fight to the death in a tournament, and of course the last samurai standing gets his prize money. So problem is Mel Brooks isn't the same because the new History of the World was a pure woke fest. Are we talking about the new Spaceballs movie? Because I'm not watching that shit. There's no way. Not happening.
From this war. And
suppose I'll not learn about the whale. We might get to the whale.
Home. He needs to go home, but he is traumatized by all of his experiences, right? And I feel in a way like the movie El Topo by Alejandro Jodorowsky is a deconstruction of
most
the Western
likely
made in
why
the
that's stuck.
70s, which became a very big cult film, kind of created that genre, midnight movie. That movie is very weird. There are aspects of this that are weird in that way where it's sort of modern.
You know, the weirdest movie that I liked was an old movie. It's a Russian film called Night Watch. Very strange film. I've got it on DVD. I bought it when I was a teenager. It's probably like one of the first DVDs I ever owned on my own. It's a very strange, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Oh my God. Yeah, Spaceballs should have happened literally 25, 30 years ago if they were going to make a sequel. Oh, man.
Feels like it's set in modern times, telling a classic story. So it's similar in that aspect. The language did not work for me. Straight up, a character says, fuck off to someone in the film. You are correct. I agree with you on this point. It was hard to see the characters. I saw the actors. I saw Matt Damon. I saw Anne Hathaway. I really saw John Leguizamo, but I don't feel like I saw the characters. I saw those actors.
The sequel's good too? Now, Night Watch is one of those films that I can watch in English. They actually did an amazing job with the dub. Did a very good job. And it's such a strange film, but it's really good. I'll have to try to find the sequel. I haven't watched Night Watch in years. Probably 20 years now. I don't know exactly when it came out. It came out before I met my wife.
Let's talk about that. She's barely in the movie. Under 5 minutes tops screen time.
both characters she plays.
Playing both characters. She is disfigured, which is something we didn't see in any of the trailers. And look, Nolan's concept for her being the most beautiful woman might have been that she's exotic to the Greeks because she doesn't look like one.
Oh my God.
Or what one would think. This was his take. It didn't sideline the movie for me. The big change was Elliot Page as Sinan.
So hang on. Have to watch Memento backwards to fully understand it. Kung Fu's the only video I'll tolerate dubbing. So Lupita Nyong'o, I think is her name, plays Helen of Troy and Agamemnon's wife or sister. I'm trying to remember in my head. So Agamemnon was the brother. Who was Helen married to when she left for Troy in the story? She was married to Agamemnon, or she was married to Agamemnon's brother. So how could she be sisters? I mean, sisters-in-law with Agamemnon's wife would make sense if she's married to Agamemnon's brother. Menelaus, thank you. So she was married to Menelaus. No. So Paris is the one that she left Menelaus to go be with Paris in Troy. Right? So how can she be playing Helen of Troy and Agamemnon's wife when the two of them, they weren't biological sisters, were they? It wasn't two brothers that married two sisters. Maybe that was. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't read the book, so I have no idea. I got some catching up to do.
As the soldier who...
Oh, they're on Prime. Sweet.
And we're going to get a little spoilery here because this is not part of the
Just
original
like I'm exotic
story.
to Indians.
Sinan is a soldier that is left behind to trick the device his life being killed by the Trojans. So in the very beginning of the movie, Sinan is killed.
So they open the movie with the siege of Troy and the Trojan horse. Okay. Interesting. Paris Hilton opened a restaurant called Twat's Cooking. That's got to be fake. That's got to be fake.
In a way, killed off. Sinan returned. We learn then that Sinan was swapped out by Robert Pattinson's character. I believe it's Antonas. He's one of the suitors trying to win the affection of Penelope. And he, as a young boy, tricked Sinan and swapped out. So Sinan goes to war while Antonos stays behind.
In the place of.
The place of Antonos. And
speaking of twins,
really, Elliot Page plays, I would not say a young man, plays a boy, small in stature.
Mind you, Ellen Page, is like 4 foot nothing. I don't know if this person, if she's even 5 feet tall. From everything I've seen, mind you, my entire like millennial compatriots here, everybody's like, oh, Ellen Page was so pretty, she was so cute, this and that. I never watched a single thing with her in it. I didn't watch Juno. I don't give 2 shits about Ellen Page, like the films she was in or whatever. I didn't realize how small she was until I saw her next to her fellow actors from this film. She's tiny. Just saw the video upload, then realized, dude, Avernum, I did a video and then a stream. I probably should have given you guys a heads up. But if Cage didn't see either one of the notifications, I don't know what to tell you. Now I feel gay. Oh my God. It's okay, Plix. She's still biologically female. Oh my God. 1 head shorter than you. Oh my God. I was that size when I was 13. 5'1". Sweet Jesus, that's a tiny person.
And this bookends the story where we see Sinan's, sacrifice and death, then is a proxy for Achilles in Hades.
Oh yeah. I saw this part on there out of the theater. No, it wasn't that. It was when he was on with Nerdrotic. So apparently, it's from Stuffy, so I'm gonna ruin. Did she run that air? I don't think she did. No, apparently Elliot Page, whatever you want to call that person, serves as a proxy for a role that was normally taken by the ghost of Achilles in the story. And so when Odysseus travels to Hades to talk to Achilles, he talks to Sinan instead. Sinon or whatever. Can rest a beer on her head. Oh my God. Oh, there's books. Oh my God. DB, I don't need any more books, man. Holy crap. I was that size when I was 11. Yeah, the ab implants are just, oh my God, it's just too much.
Where Odysseus goes to visit Hades to see the dead and meet Sinon, who is angry that Sinon was felt betrayed. Then we see it bookended at the end with the
Elliot Page is the absolute soldier.
So Sinon is a very significant, although the screen time may not be large, a significant addition to the story. And I'm telling you now, I predict Elliot Page will be nominated for Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars. I'm not sure about a win. It's very possible.
Well, what other films are out right now? This is one of these movies that checks all the boxes for all the Academy Awards shit. Because you guys remember, for the Academy, not that anyone cares. Not that anybody cares about the awards shows anymore. I mean, there's more importance put on a game-winning Game of the Year than a film-winning, Film of the Year. Like, truly. She'd be around my shoulder height. That's a midget right there. In Real War, Elliot Page would be used to bash other people. Yeah, they would just pick her up and use her, just like hit other people with. She in Dodgeball, she'd be the ball. Yeah. No, I mean, this movie is the prototypical Hollywood modern film designed to win awards. No question.
Maybe
I know.
Maybe they'll give it to
Elliot.
Maybe they'll give it to Elliot Page. Oh Elliot Page could very well win
exactly
Best Supporting Actor for the Odyssey.
Yeah, because they couldn't do it with Emilia Perez.
I'm saying it now because the role has such weight. Hey, they say you want to win an Oscar, what do? Die in your movie. You die in your movie. And one line, he was cliff noting other parts of the story. Okay. And I think it really hurt. But I think the biggest thing is the modern language. And I thought I agree with you, Alan, that the actors, I was seeing the actor and not the characters.
Yeah. Dog cruelty. What is that? Is that the The guard dogs, I think, where is that at in the story? I can't remember. I saw something earlier about that, about how there's like one silver and one gold dog or whatever. I know in Hades, they've got like the three-headed dog, whatever his name is. Can't remember the name of that dog. Arnold with a sword and no shirt. Yeah. Yeah, put Arnold from Conan the Barbarian against Elliot Page. Yes, Cerberus. Yes.
What is it? Back.
So, but let me finish. Let me finish. Then we'll discuss. The movie is a mixed bag, but like every Nolan film, I'll see it the first time and like, okay, I need to think about that. Oppenheimer, I really disliked the first time I saw it, and grew to really. It was the musical score. The score in this film is not memorable. And the score in previous Nolan films,
his dog is mistreated and neglected.
A lot of the heavy lifting is from the score. Okay. And the music here, I didn't think was that great or that memorable. And it bothered me that the score wasn't in previous Nolan films, Dark Knight, Oppenheimer.
This is what I'm talking about. Like when I'm a film enjoyer because I want to enjoy something that entertains me. Sure, I mean, you want emotion. You want something where you can relate to the characters and you can actually, you know, care about them on the screen. And that's what makes movies entertaining. It's just that whole experience, right? I don't get into the pretentious bullshit movies. And for me, the way that he's talking about right now, I don't think I would enjoy Oppenheimer as a film. I just don't. I don't. Oh, Hades and Hell are two different places. Yeah, Hades is where the dead go, but it's not like damnation, correct?
Inception, like Interstellar, some of the great scores, even Tenet had a really amazing score.
I didn't watch Tenet.
And
Tenet was one of those films that I got so sick and fucking tired of hearing about because during COVID, when the Hollywood was like tanking because they didn't have any films that they could put in theaters because theaters were shut down because all that bullshit, everyone's like, Tenet is so amazing. It's going to save Hollywood. I'm like, oh my God, please shut the fuck up. I'm done hearing about this movie. I have no interest in it. Oh, John, but I'm telling you, all I heard from the access media and people online was how that movie was going to save Hollywood because there was no other films out. Everybody was looking at that one film because it was the one that had basically wrapped filming leading into to COVID. And everyone's like, that film is going to save Hollywood. I'm like, okay, whatever you say. I mean, look, there's movies that are more artistic, but still good. Like Inception was a very good film. But I don't know.
It's not there for this movie. It's probably one of the worst scores for a Nolan film. Yeah. And a lot of the scores for his movies really pull the movie along. So that I had an issue with. So it's a mixed bag. You rated it a 4. I would probably be more between a 5 and a 6 at this point. However, I will see it a second time. I'm going to see it a second time and see if I notice new things. I know you're done. You're not going to.
Does he have oranges back here? I don't know what these are and I don't know why, but he's got like 3 cups that look like they've got oranges in them. Everywhere I look, I see oranges now.
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done. You're not going to see it a second time, but let's really talk about where this ranks. Here are Nolan's scores. Currently the Odyssey stands at 98%. I think you brought it down.
Yeah.
So, okay. Here are your Christopher Nolan films. I never saw Dunkirk. I actually wanted to. I just never got around to it. Memento, I never saw a trailer for. Oppenheimer, had no interest in. Dark Knight, I really like Dark Knight. I think it's a good movie. Dark Knight Rises, I watched one time. I have no desire to see it again. Inception was cool. Batman Begins was fine. It was a good movie for what it was. The Prestige was actually not a bad film, in my opinion. It was okay for like a one-time watch. Interstellar, I never saw. I know everyone's going to be like, well, what are you doing? Like, I never saw Interstellar. Dunkirk's awesome. I need to watch it. Interstellar is the one that everyone raves about, and it's sitting there at 73%. Following, I've never heard of, and then Tenet at 69%. Batman Begins is my favorite. I mean, Batman Begins is a good movie. I've seen it like maybe twice. For me, it was the entire, like, I don't know. Prestige. I thought the Prestige was good. I don't know if I'd say it was amazing, but it was what that was the one with Hugh Jackman in it, right? It was a good film.
His top movies: Dark Knight, 94%;
Hey,
Oppenheimer,
Joe Darkness.
94;
Dunkirk sucks so bad.
Memento,
Oh my god.
93; Dunkirk, 92; Insomnia, 92; Dark Knight Rises, 87; Inception, 87; Batman Begins, 84. That's too low. Prestige, 76; Interstellar, 73; Following, 82.
I only saw Interstellar, Inception, and Dark Knight trilogy, and for decades I thought Nolan was the name of the actor who played Batman. Nah, that's funny. Two different Chris's. It's pretentious nonsense straight from Nolan's stick in the butt. Oh my god. Well, A. Vernum, sometimes the name of a director actually matters. If the name is Uwe Boll, don't watch the film. It's that simple. Oh my god. Hades is synonymous with both the name of the God Watcher and the place, kind of like most Christians say the Satan and Lucifer are the same, even though they're not.
Tenet, 69%. So I'll end with mixed bag. If forced to give a rating between 5 and 6, I will see it again, give it another chance. Alan, discussion points.
Yeah.
All right, Matt Stanford, I'll let you have that opinion.
Maybe this time the Titanic won't sink. The other thing is, I mentioned before, but what was the
greatest warrior ever?
The Elliot Page character, the
greatest soldier I've ever known.
Yeah. And how did you realize that they were the greatest soldier ever known?
Because Odysseus said it.
Because they loaded her into a catapult and shot her over the... No, that's probably not it. Yo, Smash Raid! Welcome in, Raiders. Hey, Smash. Dude, you and I are both streaming more lately. It's crazy. I was even thinking of streaming on Friday if I could do that. Welcome in, everybody. We're just finishing up Film Threats review of the Odyssey, and then we, of course, got some memes to go through. I haven't even gotten to the Palworld stuff. But it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. This whole Whalegate we got going on. Dude, the Palworld derangement syndrome is real. Dunkirk cinematography is great, but it can be boring for most people. I had to watch it in 1 week because I was always falling asleep. I can put up with, like, epics. So, for me, I draw the line between, like, pretentious films and, like, epics. Sure, a lot of times you have some crossover, right? But I can do epics just fine, even if they're a little bit slower paced. Is he a bigger gamer than me? I'm not going to throw any shots or throw shade his way. I probably have more hours on my Steam account than him. But to be fair, the last couple of weeks with traveling and baseball and softball all-stars and everything else going on, no time to make videos. I literally at the end of the day put my ass in my chair and just play a game for a couple hours. I played Enshrouded for 2.5 hours the other night before I realized that it was like 11 o'clock at night. Oh my god. Odyssey needs some criticism. Odyssey needs to not exist, but it is what it is. All right, later, Smash.
Dialogue.
Yeah. So the battle sequences in which the person, Elliot Page's character, was that didn't impress you? All the battle scenes and fight scenes? Because why?
Because character got killed immediately.
Yeah, there were no. The reason you
welcome in, Guru.
Didn't earn it. The reason this person is the greatest warrior ever known is because we're told that as the worst kind of story.
Again, what we say earlier, show don't tell. If you're going to say that this person, this Sinon, who's not Achilles, but filling in for Achilles, is the greatest soldier you've ever known, show her do something. Show, don't tell.
Retelling you can bring to a movie.
Well, Elliot Page is in the movie, I think, portrayed as a boy that became a sacrifice.
And I mean, that could be.
Isn't she like 40?
To sacrifice yourself. But again, what qualifications did that character have to be in that place in the first place?
Now, let's talk about where this movie is going to land. This is not going to bomb. The spectacle alone and Nolan's reputation.
It's not going to bomb because way too many people are doing the thing where they're going to go watch it to review it. And just that alone, I mean, it's an event, right? Event movies don't typically fail. That'd be hilarious, a 4-footer kicking ass. John, have you seen the AI videos of her loading the catapult and launching it, and the boulder from the catapult lands in like Gerard Butler's soup, and he just picks it out and throws it away? She has short man syndrome. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. She is not one of us. Thank you. Oh, the page AIs are amazing. They really are very good.
Is this movie will be, I think, very big.
It will have a spectacular. Let me just. It'll have a spectacular opening weekend.
Yes.
Partly because most of the screenings that people are buying
Most
tickets
Glorious
for
Pony.
are the 70mm.
Are we talking about Ellen
IMAX,
Page?
which is a premium price right off the bat.
Okay, Plix. Napoleon wasn't short. He was actually average height for the time. That was a dirty lie spread by the English. I learned that recently. I didn't know that. Elliot Page would lose to Glass Joe. Elliot Page would lose to Ellen Page. Okay, I think Ellen Page could kick Elliot Page's ass. Not even gonna lie. Yeah, 5'10". Yes, that was a dirty lie spread by the English. Taller than me?
Screens are packed for 3 weeks.
Lord
The IMAX
Farquaad.
70mm.
That's for Rachel
Are
Zegler.
packed for 3 weeks. However, tickets are readily available for all the other screenings.
For the Infinity Vision theaters.
Yeah, just like Empress said, a lot of people are showing that their theaters have basically empty, mostly empty seating, which again, depending on how busy your theater normally is, depending on what the time is for like is it a matinee? Is it like middle of the afternoon on a weekday? Is it a Friday night? That's going to be a lot of like the difference of what you see in those.
Don't count out Nolan.
Well, then my
His
job here is
movies
done.
don't do like 200. They make modest. When I say modest, that's understatement. They make solid money first weekend, and then they have his movies have legs because it becomes a cultural event to see the movie, so you can talk.
Well, that's what happened with the whole Barbie Heimer thing.
We'll see where
People were going to go see Oppenheimer or Barbie, and it was like one or the other.
One thing I can guarantee you, it's going to get all the technical awards, the tech awards. It's going to win.
So yours was 6 different Saturday showings? That's crazy. That's crazy. It's responses like that. That's why I'm a subscriber. Hey, you know what? That's why we're here, man. Had legs that were broken. Oh my God.
Be nominated. There is a new category that just was this year.
I declare
Best casting director wins an award.
I'll just replay Assassin's Creed Odyssey instead of watching Nolan's version.
Hey, you know what, Angels? I might play Assassin's Creed Odyssey for the first time. You know, I forgot I was going to check and see if Black Flag was on Game Pass because I own Black Flag, the original, on physical, but it's on my Xbox, and I don't know if it's on my account loaded on there where I can download it to my PC, but I need to check and see that. I've never played Odyssey, though. Like I said, Unity killed my desire to play any Assassin's Creed games, but maybe I'll give Odyssey a try. I don't know. We'll see. And thanks for the 499, Angels. Appreciate you, man. Last of the good ones. The Odyssey is a very different film from what people are used to or want to see. I mean, yeah, for real. Dyslexia. Don't you love it? The movie was filmed in IMAX just so the ticket cost would be higher. It doesn't cost filmmakers much more to film in IMAX than another medium, but to watch is naturally. Yes. I've got a post that we'll talk about in just a second.
This will not only get nominated, it will win because casting Elliot Page, casting Lupita Nyong'o is a statement. And basically, Chris Nolan, it's his choice in the end. The casting director is probably going to get an award because the voting members of the Academy
they love this
going
shit. Yeah.
to make a statement with their vote. And so you're going to see Odyssey is the movie to beat at the Oscars. Good luck. It's got a whole lot of them locked up now.
But what other films have come out that are even Oscar contenders? Like, you guys would have to tell me. I don't really watch movies anymore. Like, hardly ever. I just don't. Odyssey was a decent game with a hilariously awful ending story-wise. There's a few of those out there.
We'll see in the coming weeks. Final thoughts.
Oh, I had no
Alan,
interest to
and
play
we'll go
Valhalla. Valhalla looked terrible to me.
Yeah, sorry, Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary came out this year.
And it's no one will care about your movie because this is the greatest movie ever made, as I'm being told constantly on my X feed.
Well, I think there is a bit of fear from critics to say how they really feel. Yeah. And I know this because you and I have been going to critic screenings together for years.
Yeah.
And you see there's like a group think of like almost
not missing anything with Valhalla good
to say what you really think. And I think there are other aspects of society now where people are in fear of saying what they really think.
Which is crazy. I saw a picture. Alan Ng just met Tom Cruise at like a screening of Tom Cruise's movie that just came out. Yeah, Project Hail Mary is one, I guess, that also has a book. One of my kids' coach, a couple of their coaches were talking about it at the last game I was at, because apparently one of them has the book. I'm like, well, shit, I need to see that.
About the truth of the world, but we're talking movies here and critics. And really, you're seeing on Rotten Tomatoes, it's really going to be about that audience score.
Oh, he had a stroke. I didn't know that.
Audience score
That's crazy.
To be low at all. I think it'll be solid. I don't think 98%, but it'll be solid. We'll know by Monday. But
their reviews too much.
Win a lot of Oscars. And Elliot Page, Best Supporting Actor. Mark my words.
Yeah, I mean, Ivernum says, considering all the asinine demands for a movie to be Oscar eligible, not many came out, and most of them went under the radar if there were any. Yeah, I mean, I don't recall seeing any promotional advertising for that Project Hail Mary movie. Like, really, I don't remember seeing anything, any sort of like trailers for it, not until after the movie had already come out. And I know that I'm not exactly like living in front of my TV and shit, but I'm online all day long. So I see plenty of advertising for different movies and shit, and I just never once saw anything about that. So movie as a whole blew balls, but some scenes are okay. Yeah, I mean, and Drew, everyone's saying that Project Hail Mary is a movie that you have to see. And again, I tend to take a lot of that with like a grain of salt, because I'm like, look, I don't really need to see every movie ever made, because I'm just kind of at the point where I'm like, look, I'd rather read a book or play a game, and that's how I like to like entertain myself. Movies, I don't know, it's got to be a really good film, and it's got to be one that I know is good. It's definitely worth the watch. All right, so at some point, I'm going to watch it then. All right, so IGN gave the Odyssey a 8 out of 10, which is ironic, seeing as they give everything a 7. Let me see here, which apparently is one score lower than somebody from IGN gave Willow. One of the worst adaptations shows ever made, I swear to God. They also gave The Marvels an 8, and they gave She-Hulk Attorney at Law an 8. So take that for what you will. I wanted to see Project Hail Mary, but I was told to read the book, so I'll have to buy it first. That's fair. He recuperated well. He was noticeably slower for quite a while and took him a while to get back to speed again. No, that's awesome, though. I'm glad that he's actually doing better now. Let me see here. Okay, so a lot of the advertising for this movie wasn't even the ads. It was what people were seeing on social media. And this is the kind of shit that we were seeing. These kind of things from, again, the gal that played Helen of Troy, right?
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you feel about the screen time given to these women, considering how little you spent with them? Okay.
And then do you lean forward and look at him like that?
Yes, like,
Yeah, asking how, what she would ask Homer, who wrote the Iliad, and she wants to know about representation on screen. Yeah. Homer, please go back to the kitchen woman. Exactly. Well, I don't know. How were the ancient Greeks with people who were a little bit darker skin? I have the feeling that... No, I'm not going to go there. Not going to go there. We're just going to avoid all those conversations. 5-foot-tall Greek warrior from the Odyssey, Elliot Page, says people who criticize transgenders must be so profoundly uncomfortable with themselves. Oh boy.
Struggling in this time and the headlines.
Super loud. Sorry, guys. Twitter sucks.
Just to know, like, that you're, not alone and loved and celebrated by so many, and try and block out the noise from, absolute vile losers who must just be so profoundly uncomfortable with themselves they can't handle that someone could get to a place that I think, that, trans people do get to, which is a level of self-acceptance and understanding that I think is really beautiful and profound.
Oh, God. There's just too much to unpack there. Way too much. I hadn't listened to that clip. Yeah, self-acceptance. I mean, the irony. The irony. It's just dripping. Of course, John Leguizamo fighting for Latino representation, and I'll show you guys the community note in a second. It's pretty funny.
What's been your odyssey in terms of fighting for your identity or your Hollywood career?
Dude, well, can I just say fuck Variety? Variety only exists to pander to like the virtue signaling freaks online.
Always been a battle. I mean, Hollywood is not the most accepting place, even though we Latin people are 30 to 40% of the box office and a third of streamers. We're still not represented. We're the most underrepresented, aggressively underrepresented group in America. So that's been my odyssey, to try to bring some parity.
Wow. Wow.
What's been your odyssey in terms of fighting?
U.S. Latinos account for 24% of box office ticket sales and 24% of streaming subscriptions, not 30 to 40% or 1/3. Also, somebody pointed out that apparently he is misrepresenting himself ethnically, that he's not actually whatever ethnicity he says he is. I can't remember what it was. Thought it was Stephen Hawking AI just talking now, but it was Ellen Page. Yeah. Most underrepresented. Dude, at this point, we're about to become like where whites are the most underrepresented in Hollywood. Once everything is full of diversity, it's going to be like, oh, look, a white person. We hadn't seen one of those in a few years. The male casting of the Odyssey. In what world would a sane person think this tiny woman is a man? The crazy thing is I've seen some of these that are legit AI. This one is not. Now, mind you, I'm a short guy, okay? Next to Tom Holland, I'd be like, my head would be like right here, right? So he'd have a few inches on me easily. This woman here, this is, how do you not freaking Travis Scott there in the end? Holy shit, like, my God.
Straight ahead. Everybody.
So many actors just throw a fit about victimhood when they want a job. Peter Dinklage, yeah. Oh, screw Peter Dinklage. It's a literal hobbit. Elliot Page and his girlfriend, even his girlfriend is shorter than she is. Julia Shiplet at the Odyssey premiere. Yeah, she's kind of cute actually. And taller and looks like, oh, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I ended up in this situation. Antonio Chavez Memology says, okay, how exactly do they, you know. Oh my god, that testosterone he has to take will kill Ellie. I mean, Avernum, you're probably not kidding about that. That's just that you're a short guy. This creature's not. Yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, really, that's just unfortunate. What happened to our world, Plix? It's a good question. Those eyes scream, why am I here? Yeah, there's so much. Like I said, I wasn't planning on this being like my entire stream, but there's just so much here to unpack. So it says the Odyssey versus the Odd UC. Oh my god. I don't even understand. What is this supposed to mean? I'm confused right here. But I don't think I want to get the joke. I don't want to know. Okay, so there were some clips that came out that got copyright claimed, that got taken down. I think it was Jay Longbone. I can't remember what her username is on Twitter, but she posted a bunch of these, and so somebody made a meme out of it, a GIF, and watching Ellen Page run in this armor might be the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in my life. See the guy who plays Batman in the Odyssey? He looks like Soy incarnate in real life. Oh, yeah. Robert Pattinson. To be fair, I know people are like, stop holding Twilight over his head. He's grown up since then. I can't look at Robert Pattinson without thinking Soy. Nice looking steak right there. Yeah, I don't want to. The Odyssey I want to see. Oh my god. Whew. Oh, the guy in the black armor. Oh, okay. The one that was in this back here. Is that... Is that supposed to be Agamemnon? I can't even tell. Yeah, Agamemnon. Okay. Talboys, hang on. Talboys in ancient Rome versus Talboys in ancient Greece. There are so many messed up posts about this. This is from an account called Dixon Uranus. So yes. Once you go black, you're gonna need a wheelchair. Smash said, just checked on the Odyssey at a local theater to see how ticket sales are going, and one of the screenings for their biggest theater has a total of 8 tickets sold for tomorrow. You sent me the Odyssey you want to see? Oh my god. Black Jesus and Mexican Santa. Hey, why not? Just go for it, dude. He looks horrible out of his armor. I didn't see the actor without the armor on, so I have no idea. Now, again, some of these things, I'm going to be gracious and say a few of these seats will get purchased in person. A few more will probably fill in over the course of the next day or whatever. But the reality is, people tend to like to get a jump on these things and pre-order and all that kind of stuff. But getting back to we were talking about the IMAX, the fact that they filmed this in IMAX, and not just IMAX, apparently it was a type of IMAX that only a very few select screens even have for the entire experience. Arcav here on Twitter says, the Odyssey is a movie where poor people literally see less. So here's your regular screen, right? And then here is your IMAX screen. So if you're watching this in a regular theater, regular-ass screen, like 99% of us will use, that we can afford and that we can go to and that we have access to, you're not going to see the whole film. You're not going to see it the way it was intended to be filmed. They deliberately did this in a way where you have to go see it in IMAX. Can't comprehend why aren't they going for a fully black cast Warring Kingdoms movie? I don't know. Go for it, man. Yeah, poor. I'm broke. He's broke. He's poor. He can't afford IMAX. Yeah. Well, I do missing out on 4 extra inches of sky. But this is the pretentious part of it. For some weird reason, Christopher Nolan thought that extra 4 inches of sky was going to add some value to his film. Okay, it's real. Geek, this is real. This is real. 100% real. I've seen multiple posts talking about this. This is not community noted. There's no proposed notes on it. There's no information about it. This is a legit thing. That this is how the movie has been filmed. So you're not going to see the full experience, as I understand it, because it was filmed for these screens. Go ask Grok. You might want to go check with a few various AI. Grok is kind of retarded. He's like a retarded toddler at this point. You versus the screen she tells you not to worry about. Oh my god. That's amazing. I love it. So of course, one more here. I must be extra poor because I'm going to be missing the entire movie. Matt, that's just a wise financial choice. The Odyssey reviews are in. This is from Asmongold.
Odyssey's out. It's getting bad reviews. I saw it actually got a lot of good reviews. It has 99% on the tomato meter.
Asmon tweeted, I don't think it's a great thing that critics are able to preemptively manufacture a consensus.
Oh, this pissed off a lot of people. This tweet right here, I saw a lot of people pissed off about it. All right, Empress, I'll set it up to go to your way when I'm all done. 21 out of 90 seats sold for the first showing of the Odyssey at my local theater tomorrow. That's brutal. That is brutal.
On media like this, especially when this movie has so many hot-button social issues tied into it that critics refuse to address. Critics now offer propaganda rather than insight.
So these are all critics, by the way. Yes, hot-button social issues like the existence of trans actors, wow. It's not up to you. It's not your decision to decide what people are allowed to and not allowed to have a problem with. These people think that they can tell you what you're allowed to dislike. What the fuck are we talking about? Cuties is still sitting at 87%? Yeah. So this was a movie that effectively sexualized underage girls.
This is the craziest thing too, because Cuties was one of those films where they wanted to say, well, it's a movie about child exploitation, and so they literally exploited the children, the girls in that movie for the sake of making a film about it. Of course, they were all French pervert pedophiles anyways, but whatever. Paul is such a cuck. You know, I have been saying I want Paul Tassi to join the dark side. I want Paul to renounce his cuckoldry and to become a based Chad incel, because you just know it's killing him inside being on the other side. How can someone be this based? The funny thing is, I don't even think Asmongold is that based. I think he honestly has a lot of good takes and a lot of really shitty takes.
and at 87% on the tomato meter. Ultimately, whether Paul wants to accept it or not, the existence of having a trans person playing a role in the Odyssey, this is controversial to people. Whether you think it should be controversial or not is not relevant. The same way having Helen of Troy played by a black woman is controversial. I think that you are manufacturing a consensus.
Well, they're trying to get the Oscar award and nominees. That's what they're trying, you know? Asmongoy usually has the safe takes. Yeah, sometimes he'll go like crazy out there, and then other times it'll be like, well, actually, I don't mind trans people being this and that. It's like, okay, whatever. Ones in the movie are just a fraction of the number who got recorded. Right, Vernon, that was the whole thing. It's like, where are the audition tapes? Where are the audition tapes? You know? It's crazy.
Because if you look at the amount of people that dislike the Odyssey trailer, they didn't like these decisions and they voiced that concern. John Lozamo says his Odyssey in Hollywood has been fighting for Latino representation. Let me see this person.
Well, you know, it's always been a battle. I mean, you know, Hollywood is
yeah,
not
we just
the
saw
most
this.
accepting place. Even though we Latin people are 30 to 40% of the box office and a third of streamers, we're still not represented. We're the most underrepresented, aggressively underrepresented group in America. So that's been my Odyssey, to try to bring some parity.
Check the comments here. Are a lot of Greeks excited about the Odyssey? Oh no. Oh no. Don't tell me it's on Reddit. Let me look at this. I think the vast majority of Greeks are very unimpressed with the movie, to say the least. Yeah, none? Oh my god.
A Latino vampire whiter than
not
me.
excited. In Greece, we think the whole Odyssey thing by Nolan is just a parody at this point. The guy literally tried to upset...
That's not Hulk. You're thinking of Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo and John Leguizamo are equally completely God, I can't even think of a word bad enough to describe either one of them, but they are in fact two separate people. They're interchangeable. You could actually have John Leguizamo play the Hulk in the current MCU and it would be about the same as Mark Ruffalo.
A whole culture the way Ubisoft did on the Japanese with Assassin's Creed Shadows. No one, my husband's pissed that Helen was casted by a black, pretty much erases that part of Greek history, and Greeks were never commingled with Africans during these times. Even today, Greeks are very prideful that their lineage hasn't been erased when they were under Ottoman Empire rule. This movie is a big FU to Greek history and their heritage. We don't like that Hollywood uses our heritage to promote
You don't know John Leguizamo?
Based Greek.
So most infamously, he was in the Mario and Luigi movie with, was it Bob Hoskins who played Mario? I can't remember. And then he played Sid the Sloth in all the Ice Age movies. He was in films like, he might have been in Demolition Man back in the day, but a bunch of like 90s action flicks. Yeah, not one Greek character in the movie. But again, Plix, I will argue that, again, you go back to movies like 300, they cast a bunch of people in that movie who weren't Greek also. The thing is, it's not about whether or not you can prove that every one of your actors is ethnically Greek. They are portraying Greeks, right? So at least they need to have a physical appearance that is believable enough to be Greek, right? Nothing in this movie looks Greek at all.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, and Romeo and Juliet also.
So
yeah.
Yes, Paul is being.
He was in some good films, so he wasn't the good part of them.
And yes, it is a hot button issue to have a black person playing Helen of Troy. It doesn't matter whether you approve of people's opinions; they still exist, and you don't get to just shame those opinions out of existence because they're uncomfortable or inconvenient for your worldview.
He was always a B tier actor. He was always a B tier actor. That's just kind of reality. But it's fine. He played a decent supporting actor back in the day. It wasn't like, John Leguizamo, you see him in a movie. He wasn't instant like cancer to a movie like Seth Rogen or Will Ferrell became later in his career, or other guys like that, or Jack Black, freaking Josh Gad. It's just that John Leguizamo is so vocally like fucking retarded when it comes to politics personally. Like his personal worldviews, he can't shut up about, It looks like an ancient Greek mythology inspired role-playing game. Yeah. He was the hell clown in Spawn. Oh my god. I did not mention that one. Did anybody like the old Spawn movie back in the day? I remember watching it as a teenager. I'm like, I really loved the idea of the character of Spawn. Such a great character. And I hated that movie so much. Oh yeah, the 2004 Helen from Troy. She was super pretty. Yeah, very beautiful. No, Spooky? Not really? Was good for what it was? I don't know. The whole premise, the entire movie was so bad. Yeah, Gerard Butler wasn't Greek, but he passed for Greek, right? And it wasn't just Greek. It was a what was it? A graphic novel that it was based off of, portraying Greek people. And so they still got actors who were like good looking. They all got into shape for the movie. No, they weren't all ethnically Greek, but they all portrayed Greek well, right? Spawn movie was bad but cool. I can agree with that. I was young and was freaky as hell. Yeah. So moving on, because eventually I'm gonna have to go to bed. So we'll try to touch on this briefly here. Palworld has been kicking ass. I know a lot of people have been watching coverage of like for Tenga and people covering like the Palworld lawsuits with Nintendo and everything else going on. And personally, I'm on the fence. I was actually thinking about buying Palworld and maybe streaming it on Friday. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, Jar Butler's Scottish and i.e. Plaid Spartan. Exactly. The comic was better. It's not really hard to translate most comics to film. It made a valiant effort, even if it was ultimately not great. Movie didn't do it justice. That's fair enough. I still think the 300 movie was fine. It was decent. But the funny thing is that Palworld 1.0 just released, guys, and it got like 800,000 concurrent players playing it on Steam alone, 2.5 years almost after the game came out, right? So I know a lot of you guys play Palworld. I know a lot of people around the world are playing the game. Has a much bigger player base than a lot of the current AAA modern slop industry, right? Yeah. Everyone's got Palworld. I'm probably like one of the only people who doesn't currently have a copy of it playing it. I don't know. I've had a hard time deciding to pull the trigger on it because I have so many other Plex. I just can't, man. Every time I read your shit, internally I'm trying not to crack up. But apparently the new fight with Palworld, after Nintendo's getting pummeled in court, everything's going against them nonstop for the past couple of years, right? Palworld players are now fighting over whether the new legendary Panthalis looks too much like, who is that, Kyogre? I don't know how to pronounce Pokemon names, guys. I was not a Pokemon nerd growing up. The giant water-type whale arrived with the 1.0 update, and the internet immediately noticed. Nintendo has already filed a patent lawsuit against them that dragged on for 2 years. Is Panthalis too similar to Kyogre, or is the internet overreacting? Well, the internet's always going to overreact. That's just reality. But apparently, we can't have whales in Palworld now. I mean, here's the thing. I've seen some obvious examples in the past of... oh my god. Of obvious, just straight up ripping things off from Pokemon, right? I mean, there are some obviously clearer examples of Palworld not going far enough artistically to differentiate between some of the Pals and some of the Pokemon characters. It's a whale. It's a freaking whale. Yeah, it's a whale. Similar does not mean identical. I'm like, there's only so many ways you can make a whale type character exactly. You don't have it either. It was lagging like hell, so you refunded it at the time. Well, it's on sale right now. If you're gonna pick it back up again, it's worth the time. Doesn't matter if it's similar unless it's an exact replica. Dude, it's the craziest shit. It's the craziest thing. When you look at the two of these things side by side, of all the things to make to throw a shit fit about and to the thing is, it's these Pokemon fans. I'm not even going to say it's like Nintendo fans. It's the Pokemon fanatics. Of course, for Tanga called it Whalegate, which is kind of where I think that's kind of stuck now. It says the whale was shown to us in the reveal trailer when Palworld was first announced, and no one batted an eye then. So yeah, this was actually, I remember this back with the reveal trailer. This is a couple of years old, isn't it? I heard it's like Pokemon with guns. I like guns. It's like Pokemon with guns, but you can also eat the pals if they get injured or sick, or if you don't want them around, you can kill the pals. You can eat them. Dude, it's really cool. And there's the whole crafting survival element to the game. And I'm sure the game has changed massively in the last year that I haven't played it. Yeah, it's basically Pokemon slavery with guns. So as soon as Pocketpair came out of the lawsuit, they went balls to the wall. And I love it. They made so many upgrades since I last played it. If a similarity like this is an issue, then they can't copyright the design because it's just as similar to an actual whale too. That's the thing. So I remember I was talking to my mom about this a couple years ago, about how Disney tried to copyright. Disney actually tried to copyright, because, they own Marvel, the names Thor, Odin, and Loki, I'm pretty sure. They were trying to copyright patent, like a patent for the names for Norse gods that have existed for, well, how old are the Norse? A couple thousand years at this point, going back to like turn of the millennium. And Disney actually tried to get a patent, I do believe this is a true story, for the names of Norse gods. That's kind of like what we're looking at now. It's like at some point, Nintendo's going to have to realize, and this isn't Nintendo, this is Pokemon fans, mind you, but Nintendo is in this ongoing patent lawsuit with Pocketpair. At some point, you got to realize certain things just exist in nature, okay? In-game, you're sending your Pokemon into tuna cans. Oh my god, I love it. That's amazing. You can bring Old Yeller to be put down behind the sweatshop? Yeah. Wait, you can capture other humans in the game? Are you serious? Yo. That's crazy. Twitch kicked you out again? Oh, I'm sorry, Oblivion. That is nuts. You can capture some NPCs? Holy shit, all right. So Legendary Drop says, some on the internet are accusing Pocketpair of not only plagiarism, but theft of assets. Yet none of them can be bothered to follow the actual court case where Nintendo, with one of the best legal teams in the industry, started a suit that resulted in nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's like, it's wild as hell to see people cheerleading for Nintendo over any of this when all Nintendo has done during this suit is attempt to patent basic and fundamental gameplay mechanics in an attempt to crush any and all potential competition. This guy here says, my 2 cents on the Palworld Pokemon discourse. Palworld has the right to exist. If you enjoy it, cool. Let's not pretend that Palworld doesn't steal or has never stolen Pokemon designs, and we should not be shocked when people don't support that and Pocketpair winds up with lawsuits. Somebody has to have the meme somewhere. Where is the meme? Of all the times that Nintendo ripped off designs from other things like Digimon or whatever. Let me see. I'm sure I've got it saved somewhere. Okay, but you can eat them. Yes, you can eat them. It's like a Korean boy's, wet dream or whatever. You mean I can get a pet and I can eat it too? Their 1.0 patch notes mention NPCs alongside pals. Oh my god. If you can eat humans, I'm buying this game. I mean, I don't know if you can eat the humans. It was Dragon Quest. And then there was also Digimon or whatever? Capture all the human bosses. Oh, they even sell for a good amount. Oh my god. That's wild. That is crazy. Palworld derangement syndrome. So somebody actually posted this. This is an AI image of the two of them combined, and people were losing their absolute freaking mind over this shit. I'm not even kidding. Over an AI image. You keep the pet alive so you can keep the meat good for longer without salting it. Oh my god. Dude, there's a whole, a process to this. That's insane. This person here says, it shouldn't be Palworld fans versus Pokemon fans. It should be Pokemon fans realizing that they deserve so much better than what they've been getting and demand more from Game Freak. I love Digimon, my first anime. I think I ever watched it. Soylent Green. Cat the other white meat. Oh my god. Will not agree to those nonsensical claims regardless of their friendly tone of the post. Ain't getting bullshit like this normalized to appease the tards. This guy says, literally the only thing they have in common is that they're both whales. And this guy says, sure, bro, I don't care if people play Palworld, but don't show me a picture of Teal Kyogre with a Starmie on his nose and tell me it's not Kyogre. This is what I'm talking about. This is the level of brain rot that the Pokemon guys have unfortunately allowed. Again, maybe it is a Nintendo fanboy thing. I don't know. This guy's like, okay, which one's Kyogre? And he's like, cool, they have different enough silhouettes, now color them. Suddenly they look way more similar. This guy's got to be retarded, right? Like straight up, he's got to be. Ooh, he's top 64 Las Vegas 2026. Awesome. Oh my god, is he a competitive Pokemon player? Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, I'm pretty yeah. Oh my god. Wow, okay. All right, well there you go. There you go. He's a professional retard, apparently. Yep, and here you go. Got the meme. Dragon Quest, Pokemon, 1986, 1996. Low key, I'll give you inspired. My biggest issue with Palworld Defenders is seeing a design that is at least very similar to a Pokemon and dying on the hill that's 100% has no resemblance. I don't think anybody that is a Palworld fan is saying it has no resemblance whatsoever. I think the argument has always been it's different enough, and Nintendo and Game Freak and Pokemon Company and all of them have basically pissed away every golden opportunity that they've had to do something different with the Pokemon franchise. And that's just the reality. It's the fact that they basically fucked over their customers by doing nothing but the same regurgitated shit every single year and then charging more and more money for it, you know? His hair growing on the wrong side of his head. God. Oh, man. Hey, Seabrew. Haven't tried Palworld in long, but I probably have to do a new game because I don't remember the game mechanics. JG, I'm in the same boat. I played it for a little while in Game Pass. I'm probably going to pick it up on Steam. It's, you know, I got gifted, not gifted. Well, technically gifted. I got a copy of Enshrouded from Keymailer to check out. And so because I already have Enshrouded, which didn't cost me anything, I can get a discount on Palworld. It's like a bundle price, extra like 15% off or whatever. So it's a good price. I might as well. I might as well buy a copy of it and play it. Maybe we can stream it on Friday or something. I don't know. I just have so many games to finish. It's one more game I'm probably never going to get around to playing. Close enough to a handsome man, I should be covered in the... Blix, sometimes I wonder what goes through your brain, dude. Sometimes I wonder, and other times I really don't want to know. This guy says 10 whale gods with that color palette and runic symbols that will not look like Kyogre made in 1 hour. Now a skilled and paid artist can do much better if given more freedom at Pocketpair. They all look like whales. This one kind of looks like a dolphin. They also look, they're the wrong setting. These look like maybe Legend of Zelda characters or something. None of these look like Pokemon or Palworld characters. And this person here, Average Gamer, says, I've said these devs are creatively bankrupt. You're not getting them to design creatures that don't look like Pokemon because that's their gimmick. They were rewarded for it, so they have no reason to change. People need to take the L and move on. Defending them is embarrassing. Imagine defending Pokemon in the year 2026 and then thinking that anybody else is embarrassing. That's the craziest thing. Every single one of those would be accused of stealing Nintendo designs, right? Yeah, exactly. It's racist. You're saying that all whales look the same? Hey, hold up. Let me go find that video we watched at the beginning of the stream with the guy eating butter. Because he doesn't look anything like these. And he was definitely a land whale. Too many concussions made me crazy as a loon. Oh my god, dude. That's no joke. So this guy, Rager YT, said Palworld achieved what Pokemon has not managed in years. 855,000 concurrent players on Steam this Sunday. Second most played game on the entire platform behind only Counter-Strike. But of course, everyone's like, well, you know, Pokemon games aren't on Steam, right? And this guy here says, Pokemon doesn't have to do anything. LOL, it's the largest entertainment franchise. Gen 10 is coming out next year, and that will be extremely successful. Sure. You know, Pokemon will always have a core, dedicated, large fan base, especially between, like, retarded Americans and, you know, a percentage of Japanese customers in Japan. It's a very big franchise for them. That can't you capture people in Palworld, or was that a mod? JG, they were talking like you can. Everyone in the chat was saying that you can apparently capture and sell people. I think, I don't know. It sounds like you can. It's a Kunpeng, not a whale. Just realized. I don't even know what the difference is, dude. I have no idea. Wasn't a mod, yeah. But again, the level of dick riding, it's crazy. This guy says it's the mentality that you have that has caused the Pokemon franchise to take a dive in quality. Just admit that Palworld has popularity because they took the formula and refreshed it in so many ways. It sold like a Pokemon game and Nintendo is pissed but can't do anything. And this Johnny Bo says Palworld is only popular because it was advertised as Pokemon with guns. Pokemon fans do not want a survival crafting game. Okay, how many of you guys have played Pokemon games? Like I don't think you need to call yourself a Pokemon fan, but how many of you guys have played Pokemon games that have also played Palworld? I'm curious what the percentage is, because the reality is I think that there are a lot of Pokemon fans who grew up and realized that every Pokemon game is exactly the same thing over and over and over and over again, just repackaged, resold. And it gets old after a while, right? It gets stale, realizing that you're just being taken advantage of over and over again. Yeah, Plix, my first Pokemon game was the one that I bought for my kids. I'm not even kidding. I didn't grow up playing Pokemon. Haven't played any. I don't plan on playing Palworld. Well, there you go. Last Pokemon game I played was Soul Silver and Heart Gold. Only watched the anime. I've watched all the anime. My kids watched a shitload of that. Trying to make my own version of Pokemon game, but different battle system. Hey, fair enough, Nacho. Palworld's 100 times better than Pokemon. Pokemon's the same FIFA rehash over and over. Pokemon is the... God, how would you even describe it? It's basically, yeah, like you said, it's like a FIFA game. It's like Madden every year. It's the same shit, different year. Legendary Drop says Nintendo sues Pocketpair, files for patents during lawsuit and attempts to retroactively sue them, tries to patent catching a creature in a ball, tries to patent writing creatures, tries to bankrupt studio through drawn-out legal battles. That's a whole lot of nothing. And this dude here with a Pokeball as his profile picture. The patents were filed before Palworld. Can y'all stop lying? They were never trying to bankrupt anyone. And he's like, okay, these are the Japanese patents and not the ones filed and used retroactively. The patents filed during the case were U.S. patents, some of which were denied. Games Freight covered this in detail. And then Ultra Ball here is like, as stated, you can't amend mid-lawsuit and have those changes applied. Nintendo didn't sue on the amendments. It's like, these people are insane. Look, it's one thing if you really enjoy... Oh, I'm not even going to get... This shit was insane. I'm not even going to get into that tonight. It's one thing if you truly love the Pokemon franchise and you're like, oh my god, I wish it was better, but I can't give it up because it's my favorite franchise. It's like this, you know, people that play Souls games. I mean, people will play Souls games till the day they die if that's their thing. It's just the fact that Nintendo is so... aggressive legally with anything that they can do, even if it's not justified, right? Even if it's not justifiable. Nintendo is known for bankrupt companies with legal thuggery, right? And they're not the only ones that do that, but there is a large amount of shit that's gone on legally in the past with companies like Nintendo. I remember seeing one that was when Reggie that was still over at Nintendo before Bowser took over? That was this story about how apparently there was this kid that made his cardboard Nintendo Switch by hand over in Nigeria somewhere, and Reggie Fils-Aimé heard about it. And so he flew over there personally to meet the kid and personally hand him a cease and desist letter. Now, obviously, it's a joke, right? It's not real. But the point is that it's believable enough to a certain degree because of the way Nintendo has acted for years and years and years. Like, you hear goofy jokes like that, and the punchline... While it might surprise you, it honestly shouldn't, because that's just the way they behaved. That's just the way it's been for year after year. Even if they filed those patents, they mean nothing because the prior use clause invalidates almost all of them thanks to Pokemon games that came before using those systems. Right. That's the scummy, slimy part of it, the smarmy part of it that's just like, okay, so it's one thing if you legitimately say, look, we designed this thing, we created this thing, and these guys are just trying to rip it off. They're just trying to, piggyback off of our success. They're stealing our properties and stuff. That's fine. You can say that those things happen and that's whatever. The problem is that Nintendo is doing this with this retroactive patent shit that they keep filing. And it's like, you guys, this is not helping your case, and it's just making you look like the bully. So it's like the other kid stole your lunch money and you still look like the bully. They're not doing themselves any favors. With the economy the way it is, you're going to see more and more of these horrible games and BS tactics fade as more and more people have less money to spend on crap. Yeah. Was there from Gen 1, played Gen 2, Gen 8, moved on, but also played Palworld, different games. I don't hold allegiance to any game. Just want to... Yeah. And I think that's a perfect way to look at it. If the game is good and it's worthy of your time and money, then play it. That's the whole speaking with your wallet, And then if the game sucks, you should be willing and feel free to speak out against it, because at the end of the day, that's all you can do. It's like, if the game sucks, you're not doing it any favors. You're not doing the studio any favors, even if it's a studio that you've had a history with, if you're not willing to say, hey, this game is shit, do better next time, right? My wallet loves to vote. Exactly. All right, guys, I'm going to send you over to Empress's stream. I think she's got it up and going now. I am going to hit the hay. I'm thinking Friday night, because I should have the availability. Maybe we'll just do a chill game stream or something. Not quite sure yet. Back at you, Plix. Wrong age. I wanted an Action Man for Christmas. I got an empty Action Man box. My dad said it's Action Man Deserter. Oh my god. You joined at the end. I'm sorry, JG. I'm sorry. This is actually a decently long stream. We went almost 2 hours, 45 minutes. The wife is probably in bed going, you son of a bitch, come to bed. I want to go to sleep. Oh my god. All right, guys, but go show Empress some love. I should be back Friday. I know the new video is going to do terrible. I haven't even looked at the metrics. I haven't been posting often enough. I've kind of let things go because I'm just so busy right now. 4 hours, 67 views. I'm in the doghouse with YouTube. Let me tell you. It's over, guys. It's never been so over. Holy shit. All right, guys. Have a good night. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate you guys all for hanging out. Thanks again to the raiders who came over from Smash's stream. Go show Empress some love. I will catch you guys later on.